Hey guys, what's up? I have a guest with me this evening. If you haven't seen, this is Bree. It's my girlfriend. Haven't been on social media. Back at you now. Let me get this Topo Chico popped real quick. What's up?
What's up?
I don't even know if I can do this.
The dogs are stressing me out.
We've got our dogs in the kennel
Oh,
because they like to be crazy and do crazy things. Anyways, a little bit different of a setting this evening. Have a guest with me. Oh yeah, pick up the microphone. Yeah, you can use that. Yeah, sorry.
how do you hold the
You just
contraption?
You can hold it like this. Hey, yo, let me say something. Check, check. Psst. Or you can hold it like this. Today I am reading from my new book. I thought you were going to introduce the new book that you had. But anyways, yeah. Or you can hold it like this. Or you can hold it like this. You can just hold it however you want. But the reason that you're having to hold it is because I did not have a microphone stand wasn't the microphone stand wasn't working right for me. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So hey guys, been doing things a little differently. Haven't been on Facebook, social media, not posting much, not posting at all in the month of October. I'll get to sober October in a second. Yeah, this is my beautiful girlfriend that literally walked into my life. Didn't meet her on Tinder, didn't meet her on Facebook dating app, wasn't sliding into no DMs or anything like that. Just
Me.
just happened out there in the wild, man. So yeah, you want to say what's your
Yeah,
name?
Jaden will be here in a little bit.
I didn't even say his name, bro. My homeboy, my brother Jaden's sister. I invited him over to hang out and watch the game, and she just showed up. She hasn't left.
Oops. Hmm.
It's a good
Was I
thing.
supposed to leave?
Never, never. You weren't even. I think that you were like.
I didn't mean to say.
I think that you were supposed to be here all along.
Yeah.
Like I'll literally be crying in bed because of like how you be making me feel. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to
Don't
cry,
don't.
guys. All right. So before I got sidetracked, I was gonna have this done a little differently because I feel like I need to catch up on some things. I need to talk about some things. I need to process some things. I just need to get some shit off my chest because I've been perturbed, perturbed with a lot of y'all. Anyways, I'm perturbed, which means slightly annoyed, which means slightly bothered, which means a tad bit frustrated. But I don't let it go into anger because I've been working on my anger and I'm like 5 months in without a real fit of rage, which is kind of ironic because I guess once you start letting go of things that create those emotions in your life, once you start letting go of stuff like that, then those triggers aren't in your life anymore. Therefore, it's very much harder to present a scenario where you find yourself in a fit of rage. But I find myself in a constant state of annoyance, mostly by dear friends and mostly when I open Facebook. So, why do I have dear friends and why do I have Facebook? I don't know. But I guess it's all for the experience. And this is just my way of expressing how I feel about things that are going on in the world, unlike some people that just go onto Facebook and give screaming into a glass of an opinion that nobody else can bounce ideas off of or challenge. And then really just making other people feel some type of way knowingly. That's what I'm perturbed with because in the state of society right now, we're in an election season, and like little old me, it doesn't seem like that it could affect me a lot because my voice is just my voice. But then I start to realize like how it does affect me. And it doesn't affect me in the sense of like what's going to happen with depending on who's going to win, whether that be Donald Trump or Kamala. It goes about with how y'all imbeciles go about treating one another depending on what someone else's opinion is, and then how y'all go about making someone feel less than or stupid or just completely deny them as a friend or as a human being because of a political belief. And like it's gotten really ugly between two different people or two different parties on the platform of social media, because it's like we're forced to choose one side or the other. If you're not a Republican, then you have to be a Democrat. And then if you're not a Democrat, then you have to be a Republican. Like you have to choose one side. And like one side is really, I'll just say it, like really whitewashed. Like a lot of people have this opinion that, MAGA supporters are nothing but a white cult that don't want nothing to do with certain race, and like, it's all ignorance because like that's what the Democrats feed into the agenda. But like on both sides, like what I've really found is they're solid people. Like there's really good people on the left and there's really good people on the right. But like when you have a megaphone of what we call what's on your mind box, where you can put whatever the hell you want to, you feel like that it doesn't matter what's expressed in that box, that other people's feelings don't matter once it's put there. But like what we really have to realize is like how we express things and how we go about defending things really does affect people, and people are watching. I had a guest on a few months ago, and it's his name is Andy, and Andy is a dear friend of mine. And in the podcast, I asked him if voting for Trump would affect his spirituality. And I let him go on and on and on and on, defending why he would vote for Trump and his values. And then the part that I edited out of the podcast was a direct quote from Donald Trump talking about having his way with women because he's the president of the United States, and that's what presidents of the United States can do. And so like where I'm at with it is as far as principles go, you can't vote for anybody once a lie is administered. Like if Kamala says one lie, well then I'm not going to vote for her because I'm not going to vote for a liar, because in my world authenticity is everything. And if you're not authentic and you can't be that all bearing, all just transparent person, vulnerable at all times, well then you shouldn't be running my country. It's very simple. But we have people that are like, well, she might lie a little bit, but hey, she's going to legalize weed, so I'll vote for her. And so, like, we have that ideation. We kind of let things slide and let things go off of the back burner, which are real red flags, because it's kind of like, oh, it's all right. Like, at least we'll have this and we'll just do with that because, it's really not that bad. But then, like, what that really not that bad part is like something that turns into something that could be bigger. Conservatism in America right now is scary. And it's scary because a lot of people are ignorant. And what we have now are a lot of gray lines where we have a lot of different religions that are bleeding into our politics. And so now we have religions blurring the lines of law because of people's religious beliefs. Look at J.D. Vance's morals and his views and his religious beliefs, and now look at the laws that he's put into place as a senator. Like, these are all laws that have certain types of motives that really push a certain other group of people out of the way for their motives and their intentions. And what America was originally designed for was for everybody was coming here to get away from what was going on in Britain and what was going on in Europe. But like now we kind of see like it's turning. And I really don't even want to get into the politics, but like I've spent like the first 10 minutes of my podcast talking about this because like the bottom line of it is like in this season, I don't even want to be on social media with a bunch of buffoons rambling off women's rights, a bunch of men rambling off women's rights that have no idea of what's going on in a woman's body or why they feel like that they should even make a decision on what a woman should do with her body, but yet have a real problem with their own identity issues in their own life and can't even keep the people in their own home secure, in their own home stable, and it's all falling apart, but yet they're worried about things that are going on the outside of that. And like it's a direct reflection of what society is right now. So all I'm saying is the reason that I really took off social media in October was because I'm tired of seeing all of the negative political opinion that goes on. And then like what really happens is if someone has a differing opinion, well, then we immediately cast stones at that person and then discredit them for everything that they've ever done in their life, good or bad, because of what they believe. And I'll go to Reddit and it's very left. And then I'll go to Facebook and it's very right. But I think the reason that I go to Facebook and it's very right is because of the location that I live in. But politics and the state of where our country is fucking annoying because we could do so much better as a society, but we're letting this happen. Like we're knowingly letting either Donald Trump run the country or we're knowingly letting Kamala Harris run the country. And right now, like, that's the best that we can do. And so, like, you should be ashamed of yourselves for even defending either or, because it all falls back onto the foundation of corruption. And if we're gonna like have a future for our children and like go somewhere as a society, the corruption, it's just going to evolve into something even more worse than what is happening right now. But I'm here for the ride because, like, again, I think our civic duty is to vote, but like, when you ask me who I'm voting for, I'm not old enough to be president yet. I'm not voting for anybody because I just feel like that if I'm going to have a foundation of principles and have a leader of a free world that I want to live in, it's going to have to be the standard that I have in my home and the standard that I keep to myself and nothing less. And so I'm not voting for anybody or anyone that I feel like doesn't set the standard. So maybe me y'all get yourselves together. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to be self-righteous here, but like I've done a lot of work in my own life to get to a point to where I've had to set a standard for myself to even have my own child in my life or to even have freedom in society. So like, why do I have to set this standard for myself in order to live, but yet everyone else is running around like buffoons, chickens with their heads cut off, and treating people the way that they want to treat them, which is ultimately like shit. I had another podcast that I'd recorded, but I didn't drop it because I got really insecure about some things that were happening. But a lot of crazy shit's happening, and like I just gotta say, man, like I've been like walking on eggshells about the truth that I live in these days. And like the truth that I live in is actionable and it's something that I don't even have to talk about because it literally has manifested itself all around me. And I want to use that word manifestation because I've manifested this. I've created this. I've put myself in a position of being opportunistic based off of my own experience and humility of knowing of where I've came from. Like, all right, I try to say this with as much humility as possible, but like I've manifested a truth in my life that has become undeniable. And it's become so undeniable that everywhere that I go, the signs of that undeniability are there. And like it all happened when I decided that I wanted to even be sober. Like, I was like in a very dark place in 2019, and I pretty much gave my probation officer an ultimatum. I was like, look, I'm out here drinking, I'm doing drugs. Sent her emails of pictures of like all the booze on my table, and I'm like, I'm pretty much at a point in my life like, you're either gonna lock me up or I'm gonna drink myself to death. I don't want to kill myself because like I feel like there's some kind of purpose here. I have some type of purpose, I don't know what, but like you can either put me in prison, lock me up, or I'm gonna die out here. And my probation officer's response was, Jordan, why are we doing this again? We're 5 years into this. You've got literally months to get off of probation. Why are we still doing this? Why are we still having this conversation of you trying to get your life together? And it all started then. Like it was my real last cry out for help, because I didn't see it. I now for sure, like I didn't see a future of being a father. I didn't see a future at all, because all that I could see were the remnants of what had happened from a very early childhood and decisions that had followed, and that was nothing but addiction. So it was really like a checking out point, like lock me up so I can find myself, or I'm going to sit in this house and I'm going to put myself on the floor and I'll go into the universe and find myself that way. And pretty much like she was like, all right, dude, I don't want to lock you up. We got this rehab that we're just trying. Matter of fact, I'm at this rehab right now. She emailed me from the treatment facility that they were touring, which was like one of those kind of like God things too. And she was like, I'm going to give you one more chance. And so it was a 9-month program. She put a warrant out for my arrest. I knew that when I went into probation that I was going to get arrested. But like I had literally asked for this. I was like, lock me up. Please, like, bind my hands so like I can just like get away from myself for some point of time so I can do something with my life. It's 5 years ago. I'm 33, so that was 27, 28. Terrible at math. That's why I'm here doing this now. Um, but I needed to get out. And what had happened is when I went to treatment, the manifestations had started then. Like weird things started happening. It was like, yes, this is a simulation that we live in. I fully believe that this is a simulation. I fully believe that we're in control of our own reality. And the more that I go on and have this podcast, the more that I go on and talk about these things, and I like am able to clearly put my thoughts down, the more that my audience will see that like this is clearly a simulation for me. And like I hope that you can find your truth in that also. But like I go to this treatment facility, man, and it was weird. Like I get there and there's like 48 other men, and we're in an old nursing home. And so we have this private fence around, so we're kind of free, but they tell us that if we leave that we're going to get escape charges. But I was like, I can do this for 9 months. Like this is where I need to be. And like a week later, I'm sitting there and I'm chilling and I'm walking around this track, and this dude shows up, and his name's Zach. And I think I've told this story on this podcast a few times, but I walk up to this dude and like, I was like, hey man, my name's Jordan. He's like, I'm Zach. And like something just hits me and I'm like, you're my new best friend. I don't know who you are, but like in this life, you're going to be my best friend, and we're going to do this life together from here on out. And he was like, okay, Zach and I really hit it off as a friendship. But like, I knew that like I had manifested that friendship, because now Zach is still my best friend. And what I've realized about Zach's life is Zach lives a very parallel life to mine. Zach is very successful in post rehab, like recovery. Like he doesn't really live in recovery, but he's in recovery because of the fact that he has a wife, 2 kids. His entire family is involved in his life now. He's a supervisor at Coca-Cola. Like, the dude absolutely slays at life. And we told ourselves when we were in there that we weren't going to do it the way that everybody else was doing. We were going to pave our own way. Like, we were tired of seeing people, the recidivism rates be like 30%, and people keep coming back in these doors. And we realized, like, the money that was trickling in and also involved, like, it was keeping people meant to come back in. If we're meant to come back here. We're meant to get just enough information for us to get right back out there and get fucked up enough for us to come back in, and this counselor to tell us, I told you. Like, you'd be sitting in front of me again, and we're like, we see for what it is, bro. We're going to do it our own way. And from that point forward, like, we started, like, treating like it was a game, and kind of is a game. And, like, the more that I've gotten into this, like, this recovery, however, like, in that treatment facility, like, I did lose my dad and I did lose my grandmother. And so, like, some real life-changing things happened for me, but that's not important. It's important, but it's not important to the story. What's important to the story was, like, the foundation that was being set to be what is happening now, and why, like, I'm so adamant in standing in my truth. Because, for one thing, I see a lot of people that want me to hear their truth, and I listen to their truth, and I respect their truth, and I even go as far as opening up my heart and my mind to believing in parts of their truth. And yet I still walk on eggshells because of the fact that some of y'all think that manifesting is witchcraft. But, like, when I manifest things, like, I really do manifest things, or the fact that I have seen UFOs, but, like, we want to make a joke about that. Like, it is fun to joke about, but, like, it's at the expense of my credibility. The fact of the matter is, like, when we talk about authenticity and, like, where we're going in this life and the foundation that's been paved, like, this is my truth. And, like, more so, my truth is, I can actually pull my truth out of my pocket and show you and, like, let you hold it. Whereas, like, some of y'all's truth is, like, dog shit. It's dog shit because it's gaslighting people into an eternity of who knows what. Like, do you come back here and reincarnate and have to redo this life over again? Or do you really go to hell? Or do you, like, live an eternal abyss? Or do you, like, go into an abyss for 1,000 years? But the fact of the matter is most of y'all's truth is leading people onto a path of, like, low vibration, destruction, death, hatred. It's a cycle that's supposed to keep society at a base level, and we're not supposed to expand. And the more that I've learned that, like, the more that I talk about my truth, the more that I'm expanding. Like, literally, like, supermodels walking into my house while I'm watching the football game type manifestations. Like, that's what I'm talking about, bro. And, like, I'll go as this is the most recent thing. I got divorced in June, and I didn't even really talk about my divorce because there's two sides to every story. And I believe that if there's going to be two sides to every story, then that other person that should be in the room, and they should be able to defend themselves. I have nothing bad to say about my marriage. Matter of fact, like, I was growing and I was evolving while I was in my marriage, and I was going out and I was helping people while I was in my marriage, but I was coming home to spells, like legit spell jars. Bree has legitimately picked up spell jars in my house and is like, spell jar, huh? Like, what is this? Because there was people casting spells inside of my house, and that person was my wife. She casted a spell on her ex baby daddy. I knew about it. I knew about her intention. And so I crushed the spell jar, And then this dude ends up having this gorgeous family now. Like, I don't play credit into like helping him have the family, but I feel like that with her intention of trying to ruin this man's life, like I at least like changed something in it because of the simple fact that like, I don't know, I might have crushed them all, but I bet that I could find something in this house right now that would resemble some form of witchcraft. Like, I was going out and I was helping people legitimately change their lives. And I was coming home to a person casting spells. And then I was talking about spiritual warfare and like how real this shit is. And like, I didn't even realize like how much of it, of the evil was at my front door because of like how much love was encompassing me and how strong I was spiritually. But the fact of the matter was, in June, I got divorced, and I knew that I needed to probably take a look at my life as far as relationship goes, and like as far as choosing women, and based off of sexual needs and sexual preferences and like traumas and like how it all entailed with my trauma as a child. And like, I realized that there was a pattern. And the pattern that I was developing was I fucking love being used, bro. I like to be used. But so much so that I would like to be used to the point to where like, use me enough to where I can have a reaction at some point and then I can throw it all against you. I was allowing it to happen because of poor boundaries. So while we're like taking care of things on one side and like life's good and, you know, we have our foundation, sometimes like we can let other things slip up and like before we know it, like other things are crumbling. It's like, it's why it's called mind, body, and spirit. Again, woke up one day, told told my ex-wife, I was like, hey, I don't think this is working. You probably just need to go. And it was like, click. She got her things, she left, and it was just like that, out of my life. There was no arguing, there was no fighting. It was amicable. The divorce was amicable. The I have to take care of my side of the street. That's what's important about anything in life. It doesn't matter if oh boy punches me in my mouth. Why did he punch me in my mouth? What did I say? Did I say something fly? Did I offend him? I've got to always take care of my side of the street first and foremost. And so when I came out of that marriage, I realized that I needed to do something different. And what was different was probably tying my hands behind my back in the form of getting on social media, getting into people's DMs, getting on Tinder, trying to find something that will not make me feel lonely. Because what I realized was from a very young age is I hated being alone. Didn't matter um, who you were, like I just didn't I didn't like being alone. I just could not stand being alone. And I also needed validation in the person that I was with, but not like validation from that person, but validation from you. And that's a problem. That's a red flag. But I was also in a very, I had some very like weird, like sexually driven relationships that had like happened in my past too. Ultimately, what I realized that I needed to do was I needed to fast. And so what I started doing is I confided in my friend, Quentin, and Quentin is a devout Christian, and Quentin is what a Christian is supposed to be like, because there's Christians and then there's Christians and then there's Christians and then there's Christians. There's 1,000 kinds of Christians. There's only one kind of Christian. And there's the only one kind of Christian that I can identify with is the type of Christian that shows unconditional love and understanding and has real principles and a real purpose driven life. Those are the type of Christians that I can identify with. But anyways, I told Quentin, I said, man, here's some patterns that I've started to develop in my life. What I need to do, man, is I need to take a look inward, and I just need to be alone. I need to I need to I need to be celibate, bro. I don't even need to touch it. Don't touch it. Don't do nothing. Leave it alone. 3 a.m. in the morning when you're the loneliest, go to sleep. And when you voice something like that, when you put something like that into the universe, the game starts, because that's when you do wake up at 3 a.m. That's when you do realize, like, hey, I am alone. That's when your phone goes off and it's Shawty down the way and she's like, hey, I'm lonely. And I'm like, hey, I'm lonely too. But like, what changes the pattern is when you don't respond, and when you roll over and you go back to bed and you don't feed into those desires of what our self wants. Because again, I had told Quentin from the very beginning, here's some patterns that I've developed, and this is what I need to do in order to get my life back on track. Because I have a beautiful life. Like, my life is great, but like, here's some more things that I need to add on to like this foundation. So I fasted, man, from June to August. Fasted. I got to a point to where I was, and I say this with as much truth as I could possibly say. I got to a point in my life, like, where I felt like that, like, if I never had another sexual desire, that was cool with me. Like, I was so happy and content with where I was and how much I loved myself, how much I loved my life, how much I was proving myself wrong, like proving self wrong because of the power of what was inside of me already spiritually. And so I just kept doing that. And like, I realized, like, I started setting this standard, like, if this is the way life's going to be, like, if a girl's gonna come in my life, like, man, like, she's gonna have to really love herself, but she's gonna have a sense of humor. Like, I started just listing off things like that I needed in my relationship. But like, these were like things that like were they were gonna have to bring into the table for themselves in order to even like be here, because I'm healthy and like I've gotten myself to this point, and I'm just living my best life, yo. But I'm still fasting. And literally, like, one night I'm chilling, I'm watching the game, and my buddy Jaden comes over, and I walk outside to meet him, and he's like, hey, I got my sister with him. And I was like, hey, y'all, both y'all come in, man. It's whatever, it's chilling. And we come inside, and we're hanging out, and like, I just make eye contact with this girl, and like, it might have been like for maybe a second or two, and then I look away and like, I just keep talking or whatever. But like, inside of me, I'm like, this is the this ain't supposed to be happening right now. Like, I'm supposed to be like living my best life, and like, God's supposed to like let this girl like come down the way a little bit, because, life's good. But when it's undeniable, again, it's undeniable. And so the next day I messaged Jaden and I'm like, yo, let me get your sister's number, bro. Let me get your sister's number. I did it the right way. Like, I didn't even hit her up on Facebook. Hey, bruh, what the heck? Like, this is so new school, old school. So like, Jaden gives me Bree's number and we start messaging, man. But what was important about like those first few messages, and like, it's kind of hard to look back on now, because like, my intentions were like very much like this girl a lot, and like, she's very pretty, and like, way out of my league, obviously. And like, let's try to play it cool, like let's play it chill. And I'm like, looking back on it, like some of the things that I needed to make clear were very uncomfortable in my life. Like I told Bree things like I was celibate and like that I like to manifest things and like I believe in UFOs. And even her brother was like probably like telling her things like that I'm weird and like this guy's probably like
Probably.
you seen the dude that
Is
sells
this thing on?
yeah,
Did you say probably?
probably like the dude that sells drugs off of grandma's boy. That's who I reminded myself a lot of in the weird state. And then I found out though, because like one thing that I like to do is I like to ask people questions, man. And so like it's like, what do you think happens to your conscience when you die? Like, what do you think happens to your conscience when you die? Because you can get to a point in your life. I'm going to get to that in a minute. So I said that, and little did I know that she goes back. I would have, hey, and if I would have known, that you said that to Jaden that night, I probably wouldn't have hit you up. I probably would have been way too insecure to.
For real.
I would have been like, nope, not.
And then you know what? You wouldn't have been the right person because you would have been insecure.
Exactly. Like I wouldn't have been living on my authentic life because that's a good point. That's a good point because insecurity is the opposite of authenticity.
Mhm.
Like if I'm being insecure, then I'm like, I'm really having a problem with being who I really want to be at my core. And like, if I can't be who I want to be at my core, then why do you even, you're not being, you don't even need to be with that person. Like you're being fake from the very beginning. And like, but that's society as it is. So like, it's kind of new school, old school thing. Cause I get a, like, I get a real, like meeting you at like a soda shop vibe.
I know.
Like in the 50s.
It just wasn't supposed to happen like so soon.
No.
It seemed like,
but it's like the moment that I had this moment of clarity, like boom, your life's together. It's like boom.
But then it's also scary.
It is. What's yeah, like, but why is it scary?
Because it's different.
I'll tell you why it's scary.
And then why? You tell me why. I don't know about you, but I don't want to lose that. I want to.
So what was scary about it for me was the fact that it was all too real.
Yeah.
Like people that know me and like the people that like are getting introduced to Bree right now through this platform, like when you meet somebody and like you see like that's your twin flame, you just know, bro, like the sense of humor, like the sarcasm, the dry wit, bro. Oh my gosh, like the fact that I just turned on Kill Tony and you're like, I've never seen this show before, but I absolutely love this shit. Like everything about it, that's what was scary about it because there were so many commonalities that were happening. And like while I'm talking, she just disappears. I'm dating Dr. Phil. And if y'all want this episode won't be aired by Halloween, but I will say this for Halloween, if you want to come by and get you a session, maybe, a little insight on why your family's fucked up, Dr. Phil will be here between 6 and 6:15 to take all your calls.
I should know.
My family's pretty fucked. Your family's fucked? Oh, so that on a serious note though, like I was talking like when I first started like talking to Bree and setting boundaries, one thing that I did say, it was, what did you say? What did you say before that? You reminded me. What did you say? When with your Dr. Phil book, you said something.
I don't know.
But it was something that I had told you at the very beginning. Like, it was something about trauma bonding.
Yeah.
Because we both have trauma. And one thing that I realize is in my life, I'm not going to ever be compatible with somebody that doesn't understand trauma, but I'm also going to have to be with somebody that has been traumatized, but we're going to have to understand that when we talk about our trauma, like we're not trauma bonding, like we're not bringing in things that are from our past and then like, oh yeah, like he did that to you. Oh, but yeah, he did. Fuck him, that piece of shit. We're gonna fucking be together in spite of him so hard. And then you grow this real codependent, fucked up relationship, and like it just spirals. So like a lot of things that like I had never done before, like, yo, girl, like you super cute, but let me tell you something. I know I'm kind of ugly, but you also not hitting for a while because I'm celibate. Like, that took a lot of uncomfortability to say to somebody. Like, but again, like, I decided to stop stepping on eggshells and start living my truth. And that's going to come, like, at an even more expense to some people in my life if they don't start to have acceptance for who they are and for who I am. But that'll come. I'm a Christian in the sense of like having what we call a Christ consciousness. So like, do I think Jesus died for me? I think Jesus died. But I think that like what's more important is to understand what Jesus did while he was here as a human and like the love that he was showing as a human. It was here, but like we're more caught up on where the fuck is Jesus at right now? And why is he back? And why is he not saving? And where is he? But y'all fail to realize that y'all accept it into your life at a very young age. And like, that's another thing for another day. Golly, but that's walking in truth, bros. Like, stop looking outward for something when you've already accepted it to be within. And another thing, what was you going to say?
I wasn't going to say.
What was you going to speak on your book?
Nothing.
You put your book in the air.
Yeah, this is my book.
Speaking the mic.
I forgot.
No, say something about your book.
Oh, it's mine. It's my book.
You wrote that? You didn't write that book.
I didn't write that book, but my boyfriend bought it for me.
So
it's kind of my book.
It's very much your book. Have you read any of it?
No, but I'm thinking I'm going to because one, it's very easy to read. I don't know what that's saying about anybody, but it's an easy book to read, and I just want to see if I can learn anything from it, and I want to also call some things out.
I just like to say, fuck anybody that claims they're a doctor when they're not a doctor.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like you
exploiting people for profit.
But you can help
entertainment.
But what's crazy is like this can be entertaining.
Yeah.
And we can help people.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have to call myself a fucking doctor because I'm not a fucking doctor. Hey Google, is Dr. Phil a real doctor?
No. He was licensed and it was revoked.
Yeah, he is not currently licensed to practice psychology. He stopped renewing his license in 2006.
That tells me like he has knowledge, so it's not like he's
He's not an idiot.
Yeah, he has knowledge.
He can help people.
He uses it to his advantage and like when he wants to and how he wants to.
Motive.
Yeah.
You think you'll learn something from that book? You could probably expand on it.
I do. I really think I can.
Sometimes I don't know when you're serious.
No, I really think I can learn from it, but like, fuck Dr. Phil. I mean, I don't want to fuck Dr. Phil, but what? Quit looking at me.
I want to fuck Dr. Phil.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Jaden said he's on his way and we can do the podcast on Sunday. He's just doesn't.
He's nervous.
He's gonna walk into a podcast.
He's gonna be nervous and like,
We're just
and
gonna
like
make
it's
it
gonna make me like that, and then he's gonna get embarrassed, and then I'm gonna get really serious, and he's gonna get real embarrassed again because I'm gonna get serious.
So tell me, like, how old are you, Bree?
Old enough.
That's what I like to say.
No.
I had to check IDs before she walked in. Checked her ID.
I'm 25 years of age.
When's your birthday?
January.
What's your astrology?
The 3rd. I'm a Capricorn.
Are we compatible?
I think so.
Are you compatible with Pisces?
Yes.
I think you are too. It didn't take a Google search to figure that out.
No, but I still did it.
Yeah, I did too. Because why not? I think that,
yeah.
Welcome to the golden age of technology.
It's like, do you believe it? No, you.
Our
Yeah.
Our grandparents didn't do that shit.
Boy, my grandma be looking at it every day.
She'd
be like, I'm such a Sagittarius. And I'd be like, I don't know a single other Sagittarius, I don't think.
I'm having such a Sag moment.
Yeah. Ashton, actually.
Other Sages together. They're having Sag moments.
Stop.
I'm feeling really tar right now. Taurus.
I'm feeling really cat.
Feeling like a gym.
I'm feeling corn.
I'm feeling pike. Like Pisces. You know, Tom.
I'm feeling scorp.
So you're a Capricorn?
Yes.
What is that? Is that what animal?
The sea goat. I think. Wait, what is it? I don't know. It used to be a sea goat, and then like I think it changed. Am I wrong? Where's my?
Okay, Google. What is a Capricorn? The word "what" is a question word used to ask for information.
Oh my.
It can be used in various ways, depending on the context. Here's some common uses.
I lost it. I'm over here looking for my.
What is your name? What is that? Or you can use what to add for information. What time is it?
What we were fucking.
What is the capital of France? What is a Capricorn?
What is a Capricorn?
But he gave me the definition of what instead.
Capricorn is the 10th astrological. Bitch. She disappeared. See, I don't like her either. Mine's. What is a Capricorn? It's the 10th astrological sign in the zodiac out of 12. Okay. Corpus. The goat.
You're a goat.
I knew that.
You're a goated.
But you know what? I doubted myself, so that I'm like a true Capricorn, man. Like, I don't know, but it makes sense.
You doubt.
There is a God.
You be doubting yourself?
Sometimes. Yeah, because like sometimes I'll be so like sure, and then it's just not.
What kind of shit you be dealing with?
What?
What kind of shit you be doing?
Oh, what kind of shit you be doing?
Yeah, what kind of stuff you be going through?
I don't know, but also I get that weird, like when you're on a streak of like good things and like, you know, thinking, oh no, things are too good right now, like something's like that, you know, like the fucking Dollar Tree decorations falling over.
The bottom's about to fall out at any moment. Well, that's what we think. Like, it's going good for so long.
Yeah, like if I get too up or too... I can't put it into words, but...
You can't.
That was the Dollar General decorations, not the Dollar Tree. But you can read about it in my book.
All right, boys. All right, babe.
Yeah. I didn't know what we were going to talk about, so What's wrong with the world?
Now I want to know. Yeah, there we go.
People living like they ain't got no mamas.
Now I want to know. I think what's important to understand is like, in all seriousness, is being able to identify our trauma and then not letting it be something that defines us, but something that empowers us. So the fact that I was molested as a child by another man, like we can throw all kinds of stigmas out there of like what my life's supposed to be like because of that simple fact. And then having that trauma gives me justification that I can really just like do whatever I want to in this life because of the fact that I've been offended, and I can live this victim mentality. I can do all these things, but it's important that we identify our trauma and then let our trauma empower us, because now when I talk about letting my trauma empower me, I feel like that I'm a defender of sorts. So when I'm in public, I call out things that might be red flags, humans that might exhibit tendencies that might make me feel like that they might be preying on a child, or somebody that might be preying on another woman. I see these things for what they are simply because of the fact that I was legitimately preyed upon for 6 years and feasted upon for 6 years. And so now, like, instead of like letting that consume me, I let it empower me. And like being able to identify those types of traumas and then growing from them. So that's what I meant by like, because for us to even be compatible, like we've had to go through some shit. So you've been through some shit, huh? You don't have to speak on it though, but you've been through some shit.
Yeah, a lot of shit, a lot of processing, a lot of reprocessing.
Well, what was crazy is like the things that you were processing, like the things that you probably couldn't just talk to anybody, you were able to talk to me about, and like came like supernatural. Like,
Yeah.
you were very easy to communicate with and very like understanding. And what I mean by understanding is like it was very easy to understand you from where you were coming from. And I think that was important. See, she wants to eat the fucking book. And like once we get done reading it and getting all the info, you can have all the info.
You got it, girl. You can rip it to shreds all you want. Yeah.
We'll put peanut butter right in the middle of it.
Real. She just wants to be close to us right now. She's like, what is going on? Just like the bed, talking shit and like, you think he was mad, like thinking I was gonna take you away?
Well, I thought there for a little bit, I was like feeling like that I was going to have to tell your brother, like, hey, like, we can still be friends. Like, I'm not going to like not be your friend anymore.
Yeah.
But it was like, I think that it's just like that initial, like, for some people, if they haven't dealt with things in their life, which I think there's certain things that Jaden hasn't, like that initial shock, like, oh, something's changing. That means they're leaving. Like that's their first reaction.
Yep.
So like you have to process things and then like,
Yeah.
so like that, yeah, he's lame. I get that a lot though. Like,
I do too, though. So, like, when he was saying that, I mean, I don't get that a lot from, like, a lot of people. I mean, I probably do, but in comparison to, like, but I don't try to compare anymore. Like, that was more of, like, a high school, younger thing. I haven't completely grown out of that, but
no, I don't. It, what's important to me though is like the lame thing. Like, I know and I try not like, guys, like,
I'll be lame all day, every day if it's me. If I'm being me.
God has set my ass down and he has humbled me and he has put me in a corner, and like the literal experience that I had with God, like showed me that the way that I was living my life, I was going to be forever separated, like from my son, from everybody. Like I was just going to, like, my soul was going to be detached from all, everything, like nothing. I was going to, when I died here, it was going to be empty. But then, like, in that same token, like, God showed me, like, if I just show unconditional love and do the opposite of what this earth has showed me and, like, what this earth has given me, if I just do the opposite of that, I'll fucking be blessed. And so, like, in that moment, I had an ego death. And you can look up what an ego death is like, but it's, you literally you physically feel like that you're dying. You feel like you're dying. Um, but you start to change. You don't die, obviously, but things start to change. And so I come from a very, very humbling place when I say, like, if you call me lame, I could give a fuck less. Like, you still knock on my door and you still show up. Like, you still message me if you need help. You still reach out to me. You still call me. Like, I know that I'm not fucking lame. So what's lame in your life that you have to project that out onto somebody else? I'm starting to realize that the further that I go along in this, that the more that people project anger or this masculinity, this, what are you protecting? What are you afraid of? Because there's something in your life that you're fearful of that you have to call out somebody else's, you think, defect in order to take the distraction away from you. So in that moment, whatever was said, yeah, he's lame, it's just a projection to try to sway you away from that energy because, like, obviously, like, people want to be in the energy. And so, like,
Mm-hmm.
if it's something new, like, if I'm showing you something, you didn't see this movie with him first, you saw that movie with me first. You know, like, we went and seen that together.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see it with him first. Like, it's one of those type things. Like, you know, it's, and like, again, like, I try to be, like, very humble, but I know what I bring to the table now as far as my energy goes because I've had to work on this shit.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a place to where my door was open for people to come in and just take a load off and be like, can we turn on the game, or can we play the game? Can we just listen to some music? Can we talk? We don't have to do nothing. Like, we can do a podcast. We could just stare at the wall. It doesn't matter. But, like, what I was shown is I just needed to show love and I just needed to let my doors be open. So, like, it wasn't never like I know that I'm not fucking, like, I know
Yeah.
it's one of those, another thing, like, it's very easy to be, like, turned off to me because, like, the fact that, like, I've got my front tooth knocked out and, like, you can't walk around with your front tooth missing because you're insecure. That's what that tells me. Like, you have a real problem with your front tooth missing. Like, you would not be able to do it, but I'm doing it. And I'm also standing in truth while doing so and sitting at the table with millionaires while doing so. Because it's not about what this is, it's about what our energy and our conscience brings to the table. And so sometimes, like, when we're not completely invested in what we want to be, just that little fucked up part of me could be like, yeah, fuck that. That shit's.
Well, he misunderstood me also, like, the other day because he was trying to talk to me about numerology and stuff. And, like, I know nothing, but I'm also, like, whatever he believes is true, then that's the truth.
Mhm.
Like, that's what I go off of. So, like, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said something, and I just asked, like, is it? Okay, then yeah, like, but, like, I don't know. It's so, I don't know. He probably remembers it more than I do now. I'm blanking on what I said, but he was like, no, see, I think he sees me sometimes as, like, someone holding him back, but, like, I'm not. Because like I see like his opinion changes so much. Like I want his opinion to be his opinion only. Like, you know what I mean?
This is what's important about like
So I just let him.
when you're putting energy out there into the world too, it's very important about who you let in your circle also.
Hmm.
Because while I'm just gonna go out, fuck it. While Jaden has like, he has me, he has these group of friends, like he also has a homie out there that I know probably calls me lame. Probably says like going over there is probably boring as fuck. Like what the fuck do you do over there? That shit's whack. That dude's whack. Come hang with me. He's broke. Why go hang out with a broke bitch? Like I know way more than I lead on because like I'm just intuitive like that. I know how people are already. Like and like knowing these things, like I still don't react to it. But because knowledge is fucking power, bro. But then like the reason that people are the way that they are is because they allow certain people in their circle, and then that certain person might be a low vibration, bro, and all they do is chirp. They just chirp into this other person's ear. Hey, that shit over there weak, bro. Let's go do this. 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 And like when you're pulled between two different things and like you feel like that you have to make a decision sometimes, like when you're around certain people, like your opinion's going to be easily influenced, especially when you're still malleable, when you're still trying to find your own path, when you're still trying to find your own way. Like, but the fact of the matter is like I don't have to chirp into somebody's ear and give my opinion about somebody or how I feel about somebody to influence them about what they should do
Yeah.
as far as where they go and who they hang out with. Like
Yeah.
I don't have to influence somebody like that because again, I know what I bring to the table. And so like it is very teenager and very childish and very immature to like be like, well, I want to draw this opinion or like I do want to like be cool with this person, but like this person thinks they're lame. So yeah, like kind of fuck them also because they are like they think that they're lame, and like I don't really want like this person to think that I'm fucking lame too. But like, weren't these things that we were taught at a very young age to like stand in your truth, like um stand up for what you believe in? Um, I always thought that like my mom always said, don't go hang out with that person because that person's a bad influence. But like, little did my mom know that like I was the one out there putting all the chess pieces in play for shit to be fucked up. So like, they shouldn't have been hanging out with me. Like, I've always been the one that was at the center. But like, I didn't realize that until like I was calling other people lame because like
Mm-hmm.
that person's energy was going away from me and they were going to hang out with them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
It all came from a place of fear. It all came from a place of like insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I just want to say this too. Like, all Jaden's homie had, all he would have to do is be like, "What's up, man?" Like,
Mm-hmm.
all he had to say was, "What's up" to me, and I'd be like, "Yo, what's up, bro?" Like,
Yeah.
we could have like a dialogue there, and that's with anybody. But it's just certain people, and like, it's not just that person. Like, there's certain people in this life, like it's fuck me all the way, and like that's just more a depiction of like where they're at because like also
Yeah. Well,
you can
same.
see things for what they are too, like you can see how destructive other people's lives are too, like, and the more that they're adamantly like fuck you Jordan, I'm just like obviously
Yeah.
obviously
Kind of. Yeah.
yeah, fuck me harder, huh? Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, but again, it's not coming from a place of self righteousness. It's coming from a place of always being self-critical and always trying to better myself. Like, I'm the one that stays up late trying to like think about like, did I hug my son enough, or like, did I say the wrong thing, or should I have said that to him, or should I have let him see that? You know, like, I think about things. Like, I'm always being self-critical. So like, I voice those things, and then like my self-criticisms become improvements in my life. And then I want to see the people around me improve. And then that becomes accountability. And so when I start, hey, holding my homies accountable, like, hey, like, you're making me better too, but like, you slowing down and not doing what you need to do is slowing me down. So like, please pick it up because you're my fucking boy, and like, I need your energy. Like, that's not being self-righteous. Like, I'm just trying to fucking like, you're making me better, so make me better type shit. And like, it's real easy for people to be like, oh, he's just self-righteous. Oh, he's just sitting on his throne over there, just like pointing his finger down, judge. I was just talking about like us being homies. Yeah, you're being recorded. We're on the podcast right now. Yeah.
I don't need to take the next.
Huh? Yeah, we've been talking about
Is it live?
Yeah, it's not live. We're not live. We're
Yeah, I think.
yeah. I usually have a microphone stand. It's just
I'm feeling it though. I like it.
yeah. You just have to hold it like I told her.
This was Halloween. They walk around.
You feel like spit boxing. You know what I'm talking about? Woofity whoop whoop.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the producer to Dr. Phil.
Yeah. You have a camera, bro.
Oh yeah.
And we're back. Yeah. What's you been up to, bro?
Nothing much.
Who are you?
Who am I? Jack?
Yeah.
I don't know. Buck, I don't know. I don't know how to do this yet.
All right, let's take a deep breath.
He's just, I don't know. He's open. Like,
Well, I've been going. How long have we been on this podcast? Man, like, I was trying to microdose.
Right.
Like, I was like, not expecting. Yeah, like, I was like, if I wanted to do that much, I would have had my mind right. It was a mindset thing. So
it just popped out of nowhere.
yeah, so like, what I'm talking about is microdosing, because what I'm doing currently, part of what I've been experiencing in October, said I was going to get to that. I failed sober October, by the way. Not that I've been drinking, but I felt like that, like, whatever, like, we didn't need to do that at that point in time, and like, everything's just kind of flown in and like been the way that it needed to be anyways, because like things have worked out. Yeah, things have continued to work out in her favor anyway. But so like sober October was an epic fail on the part of like not smoking weed. But one thing that I did want to do was get off psych. You ever taken psych, man?
Never.
Bro.
Never. They used to say I was like ADHD. They used to tell me I was ADHD and dyslexic. Yeah.
That's it. Like,
it's just like,
you have trauma.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing, is like,
but psych meds cannot heal. Right. Well, yeah. Yeah. Even like at every.
But instead of saying that you're neglected, how about we just say you have borderline personality disorder, and we just give you a regimen of pills and a therapist, and like, you just really never deal with the fact that you were neglected, and we just harp on the fucking fact that you're sick.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's we're talking about billion-dollar industries.
We're talking about pharmaceutical companies, and we're talking
Billion-dollar
about
industries.
people getting killed for the fact that, like,
Whenever they speak on these things and they come out and.
But they also manufacture the fucking pill, the SSRI,
Right.
in a way that when you come off of it, you become depressed again.
Yeah.
And so
you're depending on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. And so like for me, I'd been taking Wellbutrin and lithium for 5 years. I'm 5 years sober.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 5 years, man. Every single day I've been taking lithium and Wellbutrin. And one thing about Wellbutrin is it makes you creative.
Yeah.
And so like I was like really struggling. Like, well, yeah, because like I was doing comedy, and like I was like finding my way with podcasts, and like trying to go to college, 2 jobs. Like I was doing all this crazy shit. And like, Wellbutrin was helping me, and like lithium was helping me, and it was like I was dependent on it. But man, like, dude, I had this mushroom trip in 2022, and like legitimately turned me into a fucking hippie.
Yeah.
Like, if anything happened like that day, like I legitimately turned into a hippie. Like, God told me, like, in order to have everything, you have to let everything go.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't understand that then, but I legitimately had to let my son go to his mom's in order to like get
Figure yourself out, yeah.
To have.
And then now that you've done this things, he's came back and
yeah,
this all phone.
yes,
Like,
but I say this, I had to let it all go in order to
right.
get it all back. And so, like, the Wellbutrin, like I was heavily dependent on it. And so I got to this point and I'm like, man, I've got to get off of these phones.
Yeah.
Like, God's telling me that I am using it. I was legitimately feeling like what God was telling me when I was drinking. Like, you've got to stop.
Yeah. You just, you hear it.
But I knew that there was going to be consequences. Like, I know
like
that
you can see it happening in the future.
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah,
I know I'm gonna be fucked up. I know that I'm gonna feel fucked up for a little bit. And so, like, at the beginning of October, man, and like what was crazy was like I was talking about how I met your sister and shit, like how that just happened. And so, like, but I'd already all this planned before. Like, I was like gonna do like sober, like quit my SSRIs, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna really like. I hope that like it works, because like if not, like it's gonna be crazy as fuck.
How it happened.
Yeah. So, but I've been off of these SSRI. I've been off of these pills, bro, for 2 weeks now, and like
Still clear-headed.
starting to, but I'm microdosing mushrooms also. So I'm doing a 0.5 gram of psilocybin mushrooms 4 days on. So I'll take a 0.5 gram for 4 days, and then I'll take 3 days off.
So just basically the whole week cycle.
Yeah, a week cycle. 4 days on, 3 days off, and I'm going to do this for 4 weeks. 4 weeks straight.
How it goes.
No, this is already proven. Like, I'll do it for 4 weeks, and then I'll take 2 weeks off, and then I'll do it for 6 weeks, and then I'll take 3 weeks off, and then I'll do 4 weeks.
So you just
going
back and forth.
back and forth, back and forth.
And it's
All right, bro, dude. I'd be blasting off with my ass too. Like, I'd be stinking, like.
yeah.
But I think that, like, dude, bro, yo,
But I told you,
I got something to say, bro. Fuck the pharmaceutical company, straight up, because I've been on this shit for 5 fucking years, and
straight
like,
up. Fuck the pharmaceutical companies.
dude, no, like, with how I feel spiritually and how I feel in my life, like some mornings, like I've legitimately woke up and like did not want to get up,
bro,
and didn't know.
So yeah, that's crazy.
Like, and I'm like, I feel so having headaches, and I'm like, fucking people that live in mansions are doing this shit to us.
Yeah.
And you know what they want? They want me to go back on. That's what they want. That's what's even more fucked up about it is like these motherfuckers lay in their fucking beds at night and they're like, someone's out there that's trying to get off, but they'll be back. They'll be back.
Yeah, they feel good about it.
Yes. People are making legitimate decisions like that, conscientious decisions like that in our lives. And that's why I'm saying, like, don't be so fucking hard on yourself. Okay?
Yeah. See, I feel like
great segue, right? Because, like, there are people that have legitimate trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, and that's how this world's going to operate. We're going to have people that live in mansions that fucking operate wars, and the people that operate the wars are going to be people just like me and you. But there's people that sit at tables, and then they dictate how these wars go. And then there's people that sit at a table that's right next to them. And there's people that are fighting wars of addiction. And just so happens that it's me too. So like, while there is, see how like the money, like these people have trillions and trillions and trillions of fucking dollars. Yes. Mm-hmm.
See, like,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy.
Yes. And you've been talking about numerology. Okay.
Bro,
And I've been thinking, I know, I've been thinking about this too. I've been thinking about this. And so I don't want you to, let's go slow at it for a minute though. So your life path is what? What's your life path number? Okay, let's just break it down. Let's just talk about your truth for a minute, man. Like, let's go from there, and then I want to know, like, what you feel like that your purpose is, and then I want to go from there.
I feel like so you want to know, like,
I want to know, like, I want to know your life path number, and then I want to know like your truth in that, and then I want to know your purpose. Like,
okay, so my life path number is 6, and then 6 is like the number of family, home, and oriented.
how did you find the life path number to be 6?
So you take like the day you were born, the month that you were born, and the year you were born, and then you add it all, and then you just, what is it? You denominate it down to, what is it? One, I don't even know. It's too, I don't know. That's too much, but you basically add it all up together, and then.
So what's your birthday?
If it's not a 33, a 22, or 11, you add those up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Until you get to one single number. And then especially if it's below 11, so like 10, you can't be a 10, so it's just going to be your life path 1. So like, if you're like,
well, your birthday, okay, so
it's really hard to,
your birthday is July
3rd, 2003.
Okay, July 3rd, 2003.
So I'm going to take 3. So 2003, that's
Okay.
5. And then I'll take July. So that's 7, the 7th month.
Okay.
So 5 plus 7 is 12.
Okay.
And then, so add that together is 3. And then, so the 3rd day I was born, or that you add those together, the 3rd day and the 3rd. So that makes 6. But also, I was born on the 3rd day. So you also hold that, like, that's also a number that's really meaningful to your life because you were born on that day. So, like, people who were born on, like, the 23rd, you would add that together and it would be 5. Okay. So you just find out what the meaning of 5 is, basically, and you just implement that in your life.
Okay. And so, like, there's a reason why you believe in this shit, though, right?
Yeah, because my whole life I've been so, like, family-oriented. Like, I feel like I want a family.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but you've seen people, like, fucking live this. Like, live this life path, like, live, like...
So the dude I learned this stuff from helped, like, the Golden State Warriors win championship.
I'm trying to get the people to understand, like, why it's valid. Like, that's what I'm trying to, like, so, like, where you're getting it from and, like, where you're understanding it from, too, because it comes from a real place. And, like, you're getting, like, this information from somebody that's, like, actually changed their life by doing this shit. And, like, also, like, credible people have changed their life, like, from this shit, too. Yeah. So, like, that's what I'm trying to establish.
It's so hard, dude.
Okay, so your life path.
I'm still getting information.
Yeah, I know, but like it's very interesting to me because I'm
like everything that I've like. If I go out and like I search for money, I feel like I lose. Like it doesn't really add anything valuable to me. Whenever I do something like with my family, I feel so like full of love and like I could be so low, and then whenever I get around my family, it's just like changes like my whole aura.
Okay,
so like I don't know. I feel like chasing like things that are not in my alignment, it just doesn't like purpose me. But whenever I go around family or like if I'm at home and I'm oriented around like things that actually, it's just I'm called to be around my family. So
okay, so like what is your life purpose based off of the life path 6? Like what have you found your purpose to be based off of the path being 6?
So basically I just look at like my whole family and I think about like all the stuff that has been good and wrong, like all the stuff that's been good and bad. And then I just look at how I can change that. And like maybe it'll change how my family is for the rest of like generations to come, Like I can maybe just break those chains. So like it starts with me like looking at what my dad had passed down to me and my mom had passed down to me. So maybe I could just like break that and not pass it down to my kids, maybe.
Mhm.
So like we can just keep passing down stuff through the generations.
How
It
did
might
you-
just,
What made you see it that way?
God told me. It's just, it was told to me, like you said, like
Yeah.
the medicine, bro, is just,
No, that's good. Great answer, because
it
like
was just, it came on to me, bro. I don't even know.
God told me, because I was telling Bree this earlier. Like my parents, man, my mom was a great mother, and she did all that she could
Bro,
considering like the things that had happened. But like as far as like teaching me anything, my mother
Right.
didn't teach me. And my father wasn't even around. And then my father started to come around like in his latter years when he had already had a stroke. And so like I had already been like, fuck you,
Yeah.
bro. Like you were like 35 grand in child support. You like let me fucking get molested. Like you didn't
Yeah.
protect me, bro. And now I have all these little brothers out here, bro. Like, what's up with them? They were living under a bridge,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Fuck you times 2 now.
Yeah.
And so I think about that. And I thought about my sister on my dad's side who did die of a heroin overdose. And then I thought about my older brother who is in Waco now, strung out on dope. And then I think about, I have some younger brothers, but then I think about me.
Bro,
And what God told me is I can break the fucking curse.
see it change, bro.
How do you break the curse?
Letting go of habits, everything.
You got to do the exact opposite of what was entailed in the curse.
Yeah.
You got to let shit
Start with
go.
love.
And you got to start with love, but you got to let things go too.
Yeah, start with letting things go and then try and start letting
Yeah.
things. Because if you don't let things go, then you're not going to be able to feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Continuously, like I was thinking about this morning, like I'm really big on this thing, like where Christians keep telling people to like, if just look outward for Jesus, man. Like seek Jesus.
Yeah.
But like, why are you telling people to seek Jesus if we've accepted him? If we've accepted him? So like, if I've accepted Jesus to come into my heart, why am I looking outward for something that's already within my heart? And then when I give myself credit, fuck you for saying that I'm giving myself credit when I've already asked something to dwell within me to give me that power.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So fuck you for that, right? So like what I think is what we need to do to
Numerology ties into Christianity.
to do the exact opposite.
So Jesus was a real person. He's a life path 33. He died at age 33. You add 3 plus 3 together. He's a master healer, master teacher, and a master. And then that's really, they came and killed him back in the day. They crucified him because he had went against what they were going and pushing against us.
Mm-hmm.
And he like basically were teaching people that we are powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't like that and they killed him.
So what do you think has to happen now? And that's why, like, it sounds so crazy. Like, this is just a sweet little podcast. Like,
what has to happen now?
Who's going to hear this? Nobody's going to hear this, bro.
Somebody's going to hear this. And it's going to get shared everywhere.
No, man.
Somebody's got to hear this. Somebody's going to hear it. I'll share it. Podcast dropping tomorrow. No. You got to edit it up.
You know what needs?
What? What'd you say?
I'll tell you what needs to happen, man. People need to stop worrying about what the fuck the Jones are doing.
Yeah, and worry about yourself.
Yeah. Well, they're showing up to church wearing their freshest fucking outfits, and they're hoping that you see it, or at least see it on Facebook when they check in.
Right. See, I used to be so big on posting my image on social media.
No, it's intention.
Yeah, I used to be so big on posting my image on social media, and that was very addicting too. That's little stuff is addicting. Just like social media, everything.
I was just talking about this earlier. Like, I fucking choose to keep the tooth out of the front of my face where I could go get it fixed. But like, what people fail to realize is like, you say, oh, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Well, Fuck no, you couldn't. You couldn't walk around without a tooth in your mouth and spit fire
Yeah,
at the truth, or try to get a podcast, or go stand on stage and try to make people laugh.
You just got to be you.
Everybody's everybody's worried about what people look like.
Here.
Yeah, we're obsessed with an image.
Exactly.
We are so obsessed with creating an image so somebody can portray me.
That puts the limits on things. What portray the image, that's the limit.
You're giving yourself a ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you wake up and you feel excellent,
like what like their expectation of me.
Or like if I'm sitting here worried about like, oh, I gotta pay rent, it's gonna be a lot harder for me to pay rent stressing about it. And like I've always noticed that, like, whenever I'm sitting here worried about things, like stressing, it's always a lot harder to get it done. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
And that's why we always find ourselves in the wrong relationships. Right. We find ourselves hanging out with the wrong fucking people, because it's that instant gratification. Like, we want it. We have to get it right now because, one, they've got it.
Yeah.
So like, I've got to maintain that status. I've been battling this myself, dude. Like, Bree's the prettiest girl that I've ever dated in my life.
Yeah.
Ever dated. You think it takes a lot of like humility to just not like want to post and not want to be like, hey, everybody, like, look I told y'all fuckers to shut the fuck up about my life and like, how good my recovery is.
Hear this?
Like, because like I told y'all, like,
see, you remember whenever they were telling you you were going to relapse? I told you, we're not going to relapse. You're not going to relapse, bro.
Exactly.
They were preying on your downfall.
Everybody preys on our downfall. Nobody really
wants. Believe, bro. It started with you.
Yes.
You believed in making things happen.
But the thing of the fact of the matter is like, we're trying to create an image. And so like, when we try to create that image, if I get on here right now, onto Facebook right now, all it's going to take is a couple scrolls, and it's right here. That someone posted a picture of their child, you know? Well, now there's someone out there that's like, what a cute picture. I'm going to have to post a picture of my child.
Yeah.
Now.
Competition. There's no competition.
Yeah. Nobody, and so like.
It's me. That's,
You ever watch Black Mirror?
I have not.
You never watched Black Mirror? It's pretty much like we find ourselves in a society where everybody's kind of doing the same thing, but really not the same thing, but it's still the same thing.
Yeah.
But if you look at
basically what's happening in all these towns.
Well, if I take a couple good pictures, does that make me a professional photographer? No. If I say a couple good jokes, does that make me a professional comedian? No. But if I have the passion to do so and the want to do so, and I love what I do, then I can set myself apart.
Yeah.
But what we have is, oh, they say really funny shit. So now I'm going to go make a fart joke and like try to compare myself to that because like,
and I'm not going to be as good.
Yeah. Because I'm always trying to compare myself and live up to that hype. So back to the fact that like living in humility and like that pride and not trying to boast things, like everything happened to me all at once. Like
just bam, 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 bam. Just
like
Thor's hammer.
Well, I thought that I was going to be single for forever too. Like I was like, that's
what I'm thinking right now. Like
I was like having those real thoughts, bro.
See, like I want a family and stuff, but it's so hard for me to find like someone that is genuinely like on the same level of what I'm looking for. Yeah, but it's hard to find someone like on the same.
There's a standard that you truly have to set for yourself.
See,
and like
I could go out here and pick any like randomly just pick here and there, you know, and like I just don't relate anywhere in there. So like I don't know, but I feel like it'll all fall in line whenever it does, like we've been talking about. So I just got to get myself right, and it's coming.
So I want to talk about numerology for a little bit too, because I'm not familiar with numerology, but I like numbers. I want to talk a little bit about the fact that like I see 666 everywhere. And so like I had to look up what 666 meant, and it's a flow number.
Yeah.
So like it's a number in unison, and it's a number of balance.
Yeah, balance, stability, harmony,
balance,
all that stuff.
Harmony. But in this life, if I tell you, hey, I see 666 everywhere, you're going to immediately portray me as somebody that practices witchcraft, is demonic, thinks evil thoughts. But like,
Tactics.
you're having a conversation with me now, and all that I can ever exhibit is unconditional love. So again, it's fuck the narrative of like trying to instill fear in people that like if 666 is the mark of the beast or it's this number, that's not what that is. Like,
No.
that is false narrative, and that's false doctrine, and that's going to put people, if there is a hell, in hell.
Yeah.
And that's going to put a lot of fucking people in hell, because I can tell you right now, 666 is something that I see every single day, and there's not an evil fucking bone.
It's not like the devil's on your back.
Exactly. Like there,
it actually might.
Demons, like, okay, so like here's the thing, like,
feel a sense of comforting whenever.
Yeah, and I think that like with like as far as good and evil go, like I think that demons do play around us.
Oh yeah,
but we with who we become spiritually,
right.
They become tamed.
Yeah,
they become they become trained, and like they have
they tempt us every day.
We're all powerful.
It's all around us. It's tempted every day, thrown in your face. But it's just you have to be strong enough to
and so like
fight that off.
And part of like where I was going, like, so with the 666,
and you
like,
have a glowing aura on you. They see you.
Yeah. And so like that, my name. So then I was like, well, what does Jordan mean? Well, Jordan, it comes from the Jordan River, which means to flow, which means like,
see, bro, it's numbers,
to flow state. And so like I connected 666,
but numbers are connected. People have
flow, my name.
Numbers are connected to letters too, because there's 26 letters in the alphabet. So I mean, just go ahead and play with the alphabet and do numbers on the alphabet, and you'll see.
2000.
They wanted you to graduate. They wanted you to graduate because they wanted to teach you all that bullshit.
In 2017, I was dating this girl, man, and she had a lot of money. I don't know where she got this money, man. Like, I really don't know. But anyway, she had a lot of money. And she's like, we should go get tattoos. And I'm like, the last time that I made a spontaneous decision on a tattoo, I got my first name and my last name on my arms. And I'm like, I'm not good at this shit. Like, yeah, it did go off. Tap the top.
It just went off. It just went off. They're trying.
It was all it was just, it wasn't. Is it still connected? Is it, it's on. Yeah, it's on. So I was like, I don't know what kind of tattoo that I want, but like, man, in 2017, I'd realized that I was an alcoholic. So like at that point in time, like things were starting to change for me. Like, I don't even look even near the same. But anyways, I was like, I want an animal. Like, I need something that like I can embody. And so like, I was like, I wanted, like, for some reason, like I just felt like I wanted an owl. And so I got this fucking owl tattoo. And like, I really didn't even know what it meant then. And then I went to this treatment center where I manifested my best friend. And it just so happened that one of my roommates was this Hispanic guy, Mexican, straight from Mexico, bro. Parents lived in Mexico. He saw my owl tattoo and he's like, oh, no, 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 no. He's like, you're not sleeping in my room with that tattoo. He's like, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. He's like, mm-mm, mm-mm. I don't know. This dude is like still, we ended up becoming really fucking close. And I was like, man, dude, man, I said, that's just a bird, baby. I was like, if that makes you feel that like that, I'm like, bro, I was like, there's bigger issues at hand. But I didn't really even know. So I like get further along into this shit, man. And so like, you ever heard of Bohemian Grove? So it's a place where elites meet every summer in Northern California, and they worship an idol. And this idol is a fucking owl. And is the biggest fucking owl that you could see. And they crucify a child in effigy. which means like they don't actually sacrifice the child in front of the owl, but they're crucifying. And let me just, I can send you down this rabbit hole in a little bit.
I've done a little bit of research on this. You're learning me something right now.
But they use the owl as a deity for evil. And so if you Google, what does the owl mean? It means death and destruction. So then I started to realize no. This right here in this reality is all backwards. I see 666 every day. I've embodied an owl. 666 is apparently the mark of the beast. The owl means death and destruction, but you can't deny the fucking fact that there's not 1 ounce of evil in my life. So fuck the narrative, bro. And like, I'm tired of like sitting back and not saying something about this because, dude, I was in an orb, just like this, and it was symmetrical, and it was in a grid. And in that grid was my conscience. And I knew that I was in my conscience. And I knew that my conscience was nano. Like technology, I knew that I'm something. I know that I'm some type of technology, but I knew that I was fucking nano. And that I was inside of this fucking orb. And on the outside of this orb was the creator. Like whatever has programmed us to be here. I had seen this, dude. And like the ego death was happening. I felt like that I was fucking dying in this fucking flesh. And like now it's like, fuck this flesh at this point. Like, yeah, you see it all the time when people start to become spiritually enlightened. They're like, man, I just want to go back to Sagittarius. And it's like, bro, that's crazy to think that way. I can't deny what I feel right now. And so I was in this orb, dude. And like on the outside of that was the creator. And so like when I come back now and I start connecting the dots and I see like the manifestations, like even little things like manifesting the trainer position at Target, manifesting the comedy, manifesting the podcast, manifesting my physical health, manifesting the fact that I didn't need a second job, that I could financially be able to live without a second job and still survive. And still, these are all manifestations. And like these were all things that Christians were telling me were sins, but we're still fucking fornicating and still fucking doing dirty ass shit that they don't even want to. Yes. So fuck y'all.
I like that you said that. I can't deny what I feel.
I can't deny what I feel. I can't deny what I feel because I know that because bro, and like that's why I'm so big on authenticity and like telling the fucking truth. Because when I tell you, like, when I speak in God, like when I say God and like I say it's a he, I really don't know if it's a he. I don't. I know it's black.
Yeah.
And like I know that like beyond that something is fucking there, bro. And it's like it's created us and we're forever. We're forever.
I used to like to study the Egyptians.
Think about this. This is something that I just thought about and like started to learn about the other day. The fucking pyramids were here before the Egyptians. That they were built before the Egyptians were even here. And then the Egyptians came and then started worshiping pyramids.
But they used those for
and
transits or
and that those specific pyramids could have possibly been at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. There's
that like millions of years ago. But it's believable because like y'all tell me that 666 could be the mark of the beast and like to watch out for this chip. But like if y'all want to know what I think about it, since I see 666 every day and like there's no chip in my body and like there's no evil that dwells within me. And like matter of fact, I even think that I can even cast out evil. Like I think that like I can physically like cast it away. It's fucking crazy, bro. But like, and so like since like we can like correlate like the 666, it's because of the fact
it is a bit of information too.
you can't it's because
You need to journal. Everybody's.
well, I wish that I could journal all of my manifestations because, like, again, like we're told that manifesting's not real, but like the people that tell me that manifesting isn't real are the same people that are telling me that like I can only pray. But I'm sitting here telling you like, but I also pray.
This ain't real. I ain't believing right now.
But I pray and manifest. Like y'all are just praying and not manifesting. So here's the story, man. And here's a couple stories that have happened in the past couple months with my good old friend Quentin. And Quentin's starting to like, dude, Quentin's like, bro, Quentin, listen, man, if Quentin's going to go into the church house, bro, and he's going to be the one that stands up to the preacher and is like, give me that Bible. If let me have that Bible and let me preach out of the Bible the right way. Because like what Quentin is seeing is like, because I like to ask people this too, especially like devout Christians that like believe in heaven and hell. And I'm like, think I'm going to go to hell? I'm not a Christian. And they're like, oh, no,
Yeah. See.
I can't say that God would send you to hell. No, but I've asked Quentin and I've asked a couple of other guys. But here's the thing, like I've had these conversations with Quentin. I told Quentin the very first time that I worked with him, I was like, your life's about to change.
Yeah.
I've told that to Clinton, who I worked with at Target. That was my right-hand man at Target, who I have a podcast with. Clinton, Christian. There's parallels with Clinton and Quentin too that I haven't even gotten to yet, like that are kind of crazy. But I told Clinton, I was like, your life's about to fucking change, bro. His life's just fucking changed, bro. But some things that have happened with Quentin and so and I just like this shit because like I like it when God shows up and it's not the Christian God, bro. It's not the God that like has the white man Jesus beard. Yeah. This is fucking good, dude. So fuck yeah. Fuck, I think I do. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll wrap it up in a minute. Oh, okay. Well, then I won't. Joe Rogan goes for like 4 hours, bro.
That's just.
This is better than Joe Rogan. We rolling now. So I'm in Dallas coming from a move, and it's me and Quentin, and like Quentin and I have like already started to have some conversations, like debates, bro. Like he's like, man, I just don't think that, you know, it's a sin to be gay. I think it's a sin to be gay, and like you just real conservative Christian type shit, And I'm like, bro, man, I think you're just supposed to love those people, bro. You just let them be and you just love them, dude, because like they might show you something about love. So like just like conversations about like Christian beliefs and stuff. So we're coming from this job, man, and we get diverted off of the highway and we're coming down south through South Dallas and we get stopped at a red light and we get stopped at this liquor store and there's this homeless man picking up trash in front of this liquor store. And about that time, this guy pulls up, and I want to say that this guy probably worked at this liquor store, but he was driving a G-Wagon, man. He was fucking, yeah, he was a Middle Eastern guy, but he gets out, man, and he has this fucking pizza, bro, and this pizza is probably about as wide as this chair, man, like an extra large pizza from like one of them downtown shops, like something you would get in New York, bro, like a real, like thin, big pizza. He gets out of the car with this pizza and like walks by the homeless man. And of course, the homeless man stops what he's doing. He smells it. He's like, man. So, mind you, at a red light with Quentin and I, seeing all this happen, the guy walks in, or the homeless man follows the guy in. And I look at Quentin and I said, dude, I said, if that man walks out of that liquor store right now with a piece of pizza, I said, I might cry. But even more so, if that man walks out with that liquor store with a piece of pizza, I said, you can't deny that my God's not real. And so we're sitting there, dude, and like, I low-key know he's coming out of there with a pizza, man. Like, my intuition's just scary. And so, like, I'm like, man, this dude needs to come on with this pizza, bro. Like, because the light's changing. And, dude, he walks outside and he has this paper plate. And it's fucking full of pizza. And he's got a fucking Coke. And the light turns green, dude. And I, like, start to cry, bro. Like, I'm starting to cry because of, like the act of humanity. And then, but like what even was even crazier about that entire situation was like the moment that man walked out of the liquor store, like he didn't look to his left or to his right. He looked in traffic directly at Quentin and I and gave us like this chunk with his soda. He had this soda in his hand. He was like chunked up the deuce, and I just started fucking crying, bro. I was just bawling, bro.
I've had some moments where it's like beautiful, bro, and then just like it's answers you've been looking for.
Yeah, but that's how profound the reality. That's why I'm saying like this is a simulation.
I mean, like, I just think
You're pulling on it a little bit.
it's just plug it all the way. I started realizing manifestation was real whenever I started manifesting bad things. Like, I mean, really not like on purpose, but just like doing it. Just like I just noticed it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
well, you were creating your reality.
My reality was just like, it was not going well.
Well, if you tell yourself that you're a piece of shit, what do you think's your reality is gonna?
I was manifesting all the.
If I'm like, oh, I'm dirty, I'm gonna be dirty, bro. It's weird how that works. So that happened. Another thing, dude. She had these crystals, man. Dude, I try to be serious on this podcast, but she was crazy. She had these spell jars we talked about, but she also had these crystals. And she was like rubbing these hoes together, bro. She was going to rock shops, like legitimate crystal shops. So she was like, she was trying to get this shit back too. Like after the divorce, she was like getting me through email because like I had cut her off on everything. You can only get me through email. It's super professional. Looks great on a court docket, like all that. Like I had all my receipts ready to go. And she's like, hey, I just need to get a few things from the house. And I'm like, you ain't getting these things. You ain't getting these crystals. So what I did was, because I believe in this reality, bro, because 666, the owl, love, hate. Oh, I was going to speak on the microchip, the mark of the beast, bro. The mark of the beast is already here, and I think the mark of the beast is hate. Because why would it not be hate? Because like if I could leave my mark, if I could leave a mark and it was the beast,
Yeah.
How easy would it be to instill hatred into you? And now look at the world and like how it dwells. You see?
Yeah.
So like I was thinking that like possibly the mark of the beast could be hate. And like we just want to say like it would be a microchip to just kind of like control that narrative.
So like make people create manifestations that they don't even know they're creating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that's what
I
just realized
Mm-hmm.
all the wrong things.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so these crystals, bro. I believe in this reality, synonym, antonym, yin, yang, positive, negative. Everything you have to have an opposite. So like if this girl was using these crystals to like do some witchy stuff, well, if like this love is so profound in me, I'm gonna charge these crystals in love. And like, man, I even like I'm gonna go ahead and admit this right now. Like I even put them out under a full moon, like in my yard, put all these crystals out under a full moon, like stood outside in my yard and was like, I'm charging these crystals with the power of love. Like voiced it because our intention, we speak life, bro. We can speak life into plants. If I tell a plant that it's gonna die, it's gonna fucking die. If I tell that plant it's a good plant, it's gonna grow, it's gonna thrive, it's gonna live. It's crazy.
See, I know some.
Yeah.
I know someone used to be a big grower. He would always like play music and like he would just go there and talk to us.
Vibrations, frequencies.
Yeah. He would go there.
Okay.
But his plants would like flourish.
Yes.
They'd be so tall and pretty. I tried to do like little grow, and like, oh man, I would just like think I was like, I would worry about that plant.
Yeah.
And one day that plant was chopped in half, and it was sitting in my closet. Like, what? No, it was shut. The door was shut. Like,
He just felt it. He felt it happen. He was connected to it. And then it came home and it was fucked up. So these crystals, okay?
what's you guys? Yeah.
Yeah. She, including Edward. So these,
We can connect with dogs too.
yeah, we can.
I have to connect with them, but you can change your dogs to how they act.
Well, your dogs can't speak for a reason. No animals can speak for a reason. These animals are a portal to another dimension, bro. They see how we treat them. They see how they're treated. They're here for the experience as well. We're supposed to show them love. We're supposed to show them love. That's why octopus are wild animals in the ocean. But if you show them love, they'll come to you from the wild ocean every single fucking day. From the ocean, you can go to the same spot on the beach and that same octopus will come to you because you're showing it love. Like these creatures are a portal to another fucking dimension. And if we show unconditional love, bro, that's why it's universal, bro. If I show my tree out here unconditional love, bro, that tree's gonna be the best fucking tree.
Oh yeah.
Dude, seriously, like that's how simple it is. But okay, the crystals. I'm talking about crystals. We're okay. So I got these crystals, man. And I charged them in unconditional love. And so I started carrying. It's okay. It does it. It's okay. I have no idea what she said. And that's okay.
It just needed to be disturbed.
Everything happens for a reason. You can't control it. Yeah. That's why I wasn't fucked up. It was my favorite crystal, and it was the shape of a mushroom. But anyways, so these crystals, man, I had these crystals charged, bro, and like, so I started carrying these crystals around, and like, I look at Quentin one day, and like, I'm like, hey, man, like, just because like some people carry doesn't make them witches, bro. Like, you have to understand the power of the intention, the power of the intention, because I'm going somewhere with this, brother. And so the intention. And he was really fucked up on this crystal thing, because crystals, no, don't fuck with crystals in Christianity. So this day we have this debate on this crystal thing. We have 3 jobs. We're late to our last job. This old lady is sitting outside waiting for us to get there to unload her little bitty old 16-foot Penske truck. I'll never forget this lady. She freaking called me, and it was inappropriate. I was like, ma'am, you can't call me right now. Like, I'm on a job. Like, I'd like to talk to you, but I'm not going to show up to your church on Sunday. Bye. Literally what happened, because I was with Quentin when she called on the follow-up after this happened, right? And put my arm down. I get so fucking hyped about this shit, bro, because like, I don't like proving people wrong. I want people to understand the truth, bro. Like, the truth is so right in front of their fucking face, and all they have to do. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. This lady, she's like, get the fuck out of the car, guys. Like, I need my shit unloaded yesterday. She wasn't like that. She was a super sweet lady. So I get out of the car, and like, I'm going over there because she's out there waiting for us. And like, I show her the phone, and I'm like, hey, have I met you before? And she goes, maybe. And so like, she does the little signature things, and she's a sweet old lady, dude. And Quentin gets out, and I tell Quentin, I said, this is going to be a fun one. So we go into the Penske, grab our first little stack for the dolly, go inside. I shit you not, dude. This lady looks at Quentin and goes, I'm a spiritual Christian. And I said, so does that mean you have crystals? She says, I have the biggest crystal you could ever imagine in your life. And it's sitting right out there on that truck. I look at Quentin, and I said,
Probably over your shin breaks.
oh, Quentin could tell this story too. Like, that's why, like, Quentin, yeah. Quentin don't fucking talk about my crystals no more, bro. She goes, I'm a spiritual Christian, and I probably got the biggest amethyst you've ever seen out there on that truck, and it was the biggest fucking crystal I'd ever. It was like this tall, and it was in a wooden crate, bro, like shipping container. And I look at Quentin, and I said, no, homeless man, spiritual Christian, like, come on, bro, open up your fucking eyes, dude. And like, so like, I have these conversations with Quentin, and I'm like, cause like, I try to be accountable to my friends, man. And I'm like, so you see what's happening, dude. Like, so like, all I really need from you is like, just show up on fucking time. Just show up on time. Like, if you show up on time, more things are going to happen. Like, if you get up, if you wake up and you get going, more things are going to happen for you, bro. It's that simple. That's my message from God for you. So stop it going and like asking for more answers. And like, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm God by any means. Like, what I'm saying is like, we become anointed, bro. Like, we accepted something to come within us. And so, yes, when we become connected, we have to be able to discern like when our friends are like something bigger is like, because like, here's the thing with Quentin, and like, this is why it's so easy for me to make this connection with Quentin. Because if Quentin would just wake up in the morning, Quentin could start his day by reading. He could start by doing so many things, but
doesn't show up as the devil, he shows up as the deal you make.
Cunning. We like, but we want to sit in church and behind the throne and say the devil's come to steal, kill, and destroy, boys, and we just gonna have to look out for him. He's out there lurking. He's out there preying on us. Motherfucker, the devil is you. The devil is you. He dwells within you because of the things that are probably in your Google search history, or the things that you've been looking at, or, you know, the things that you're lusting at while you're in church, brother. Like, the devil already is within you, because the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And also, the devil also is confusion, right? Like, it's very easy for such an ignorant fucking group of society. It's because we can do better, bro. We are such a low vibration right now. It's so fucking pathetic. But like, we've let this happen. But like, here's the thing. If it's confusion, wouldn't it, like, again, like, this is where like I become empowered in my truth again, because like, it would be very confusing to say things like 666 would be the mark of the beast, when it could be like, if people were to like set their intention on trying to like look for 666, and then like from that try to manifest a flow state from finding the 666, and then like developing a flow state from that, that comes from a manifestation of a process. And so like, that could be a, what Christians would say, a spell, like they're casting a spell. And so like, if it's confusion, it's come to steal, kill, and destroy, bro. That's why I feel like now I need to stand on my truth.
Like, I'm saying the bad things,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what you.
But it's important to stand on the truth of what's happening, and like, if more, because it's not just happening to me. Like, I know that there's probably other people that are like becoming spiritually awakened, that like are divided. Like, they're struggling with the fact that like, man, like, I'm seeing some real demonic shit, but like, I know what I feel on the inside, and like, I know how people are portraying me, and the balance.
No, that's where I am right now. Just trying to find the balance of like,
So what do you think that you need to do?
definitely break like addiction, stuff like that, you know, but just really like fulfill my purpose.
Because really, like, the
Family oriented, like I was saying.
I think the first thing that we ultimately need to do is,
I was chasing after all the lust and all the money, but I wasn't looking for the love and like the family and the health and like all these things that are really like needed.
well, how do you understand what you need to let go of without understanding like what it makes you feel guilty? So like, how do you like identify something? Like, for me, all right, for a long time it was dad guilt. Like, carrying dad guilt and the fine line of knowing that I am a good dad, but like the guilt. So like the guilt is what guilt's
That's just self-doubt.
it's a thought. And she doesn't feel my guilt right now. But if I'm feeling guilt in my thoughts, right now I'm full of guilt. This is my perception and my reality. She might over there just might be admiring me and thinking, what a great fit. And I'm guilty. You see? So like the guilt is nothing but a thought of something that is a fear. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. So what is real?
Be real.
So then you have to understand like what is real. And like the things that would become real are things that would become from the things that we start to discern from our conscience. And like when we feel guilt, like that can be like that's shame.
That may be just like an answer. Like that's just something.
Conviction. Conviction. Yes, that's where I was going with that. Could it be shame? No, it could possibly.
Whenever I do something.
Dude, bro, I drank for so long, and like now seeing like what my path is,
I'll still go home. Like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Why did I go to the bar? Why did
I wouldn't be who I am without me having those nights of drinking. But like the conviction, like I think that's God reminded me, like there's still more.
I feel like
the devil can show up as anything.
Yeah. Like
the devil, dude. Listen, man. I think the devil's shown up as my mom.
No, I mean, maybe.
But this is why this is my reality though, because my truth is like my mom was always clinically depressed growing up, and then realizing that my mom didn't know what was going on to her son for 6 years, on top of depression. My mom was not on meth or drugs, but we had foil. 6. Yeah. See, yeah. All right, don't harp on it though. Okay. But we had foil on the windows, dude, because my mom didn't want sunlight in the house. I almost died of a carbon monoxide poisoning. And like I really think that my mom tried to check out, dude, with me in the house. Yes. And so like when we talk about like love and like our intentions, right? Like we got to understand like where they're coming from and like how pure they can be, and like dude, what the fuck, bro? It's just like I got caught up on that, like thinking about that for a second, like the guilt, man. Like, mm-hmm. It's a fear, man. Like it's all of a figment of our imagination that we have created based off of thoughts.
You may not be scared.
But the mastering is finding where your conscience lies and like letting that become the thought for you and the conviction for you.
We all have a destiny. Fulfill it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I learned to like love things. It's just a lot.
What do you think you're addicted to?
I mean,
because like those are
anything really, like fake.
Because the problem with society is, man, is like
Strengths not.
Mm-hmm. We're all addicted to something, and like the problem is like since everyone's addicted to something, it's easy for me to say, "Hey, brother, you're addicted to something. You need to take a look at that. Like, let's because again, like it's all another projection, bro. Only you can decide. It's only what keeps you up at night. So our addiction is anything that separates us from what is greater. Like what is greater than us. Our higher power, dude. And like some people like have a hard time with higher power. And like, I don't like the fact that people make fun of people's higher powers. Even like some people have higher powers as a fucking potato. But you know what? Let them fucking have a potato as a fucking higher power. I don't give a fuck. But I'll tell you about like the higher power thing, man. Like, it's connected to, if I'm connected to that potato and like I can actually draw a connection to that potato and that's going to keep me from not drinking tonight, well then fuck, dude. Like, yeah, yeah. If I can
The devil show up as a late night.
So if the devil can show up as a beer, what makes you think that something more divine, like, because there's two things here. There's spiritual warfare. What makes you think that something more divine can't take the place of that potato?
I think I should have been there. And then I see like maybe I don't know if it's a warlock or whatever, but I see like the offerings like they're trying to poison me by offering me another shot. Like I just see like the spiritual level I see like.
And did you take the shot?
No, I left the bar. Him offering me the shot. I was like, whoa, dude, that's just. I was like, that's really demonic. It's so demonic. I was like, that's just like he's trying to like. It's just hindering. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt like that was my answer that I needed. I was like,
Well, there was a couple times that I'd gotten really drunk, man, and like I'd had a very similar experience to my to like when I'd met God on my mushroom trip. Like, that now looking back on it, I really think that God was there. Like, one time, like I'd stripped down naked in this field and um just right up here north of Trinidad. And dude, I got out there and I said, hey, we need to pour out this beer, boys. And they said, oh God, here we go. I said, God's telling us we need to pour out this beer. And they said, Jay, because that's what they called me back in the day. They said, Jay, you pour out that fucking beer, bro, we're gonna beat your fucking ass. Well, then they started over there chatting. I got in the back of that truck. I grabbed a 30 pack and I just tossed it backwards over the back of my head, like, whoop. And the next thing you hear is on that road, and they were across the way. And I said, God told us to get rid of this beer tonight, boys. And then I got naked because, like, one thing, like, if you're going to fight me, you're going to fight me naked. And two, like, I felt like this. Listen, man, when I had my mushroom trip and I was in, like, when I had my ego death, I felt like I needed to be pure. And so, like, in that moment of vulnerability, I got naked in front of these, like, grown ass men, straight up. And, like, was like, I'm in the presence of, like, something that's more divine than any of this. And, like, clothes are not necessary. And, like, I was just there. But, like, in that moment, I threw the beer back, it crushed. And then, like, there was another, and they said, Jay, don't you do it. Don't you do it. And so I got out into the middle of the field and I said, God's calling me. And, like, dude, behind me, bro, it started fucking thundering. It started fucking thundering. And they called Amanda Braden's mom. They called her and they's like, Jordan's up. And yeah, so that was one time that, like, I had this little experience. And, like, looking back on it now, man, like, I'm like, dude, like, those were signs, man. Those were signs.
it's the beer and I gave that. I was like, I should put this on the cyber. The devil had to shut up and collected that.
What do you mean?
The big, I don't know. Like, I feel like the alcohol actually does, like, it can open spirits and people.
Yeah.
So, like, I put this beer on the sidewalk because I was dumb. I like just felt like I just didn't need it, didn't want it. Like, I'm trying to quit drinking. I like, put this shit over on the sidewalk. And then immediately came out of the woodworks. He's like, no one else would sell me beer, and something told me to come here and grab this beer. Like, he just said, something told me to come here. And I was like, yeah, you can have the beer. Like, we just put it there, giving it away, whoever wants it. And he just came up and got the beer. But it was so crazy. I was like, it's all connected. I was giving that away, and he came and picked it.
I totally believe that, bro. Yeah. Yeah.
It was crazy.
But, like, that's the thing too, man. Like, in this life too, like the connectedness too. Like, yeah, man, like, especially like if there's things happening in my life, you see things happening, I need you to talk to Mark, bro. Like, some people like write Mark off as like, bro, Mark's got some profound shit to say. And like, I can ask Mark questions that I know the answer to, that I need a specific answer to, and he'll give me the specific answer that I'm looking for. And I'm like, okay, that's that's credible, that's valid. Like, let's, so like when we talk about like collective conscience and stuff, like Mark's Mark's part of that, you're a part of that. Like, I always felt like that you were my brother even before I met Bree. Like, that was the crazy thing. Like, I was manifesting, yeah, like always when I picked you up from the move, like that first day we worked at the moving company, I was like, dude, I just need to be in this dude's fucking life.
See, at first I was like judging you. Like, it's part of my life. It says that I judge people, and maybe I judge them too hard, which could block flat. Part of my blessing.
Oh, well, you were fucking yourself up that day. You were judging me because I know that I was fucking probably doing some stupid shit.
I don't know. I thought she was like goofy as hell.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, bro. I'll be out there wilding.
You're just you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just.
But I just like, mm-hmm. Because like for a long time, dude, like when I was in my addiction, I would like start a job or like I would go meet new people and I would always feel like they're gonna fucking hate me. They're gonna hate me. They're not gonna like me. I'm gonna have to put on this front. And then I would always like even treatment centers, even prison, bro. And then I would get there and I'd forget about this fucking front that I'm supposed to be putting on. Cause like all I'm doing is like just trying to like just be me, you know, like just try to be me. And like the next thing I know, like everybody's fucking chilling with me and now fucking trouble. Cause I'm fucking like, I get influenced by my friends' ideas. Cause again, like we're human, bro. Like it's that balance too. Like I can very easily not have a podcast that.
You're two things at once.
Mm-hmm. Because think about this, dude. Think about how easy this is. We're we're one conscience.
There's some place. Like
We're souls.
the physical realm is like way great. Like it's
Yeah.
like I feel more connected to the spiritual realm definitely than we have ever felt here. And I mean,
We have to understand that this is more so probably really a movie, man. Really a movie because like, bless you. From the books that I've been reading and shit, like journey of souls, like our souls, like this is all just a projection. And like when we get back to where we're going there, it's like, like you were taking that way too serious. Like even people that like check out like through and like I don't condone suicide by any means, I don't. And like if you have I say this for the podcast, so like if anybody's struggling, reach out to me, reach out to the suicide hotline, text the number, something. But one thing that I've read in that book, that people that check out early, there's no punishment for that. It's, hey, you checked out early and you were supposed to have the experience that you chose. Go back. See you later. Do it again. And that's hard to think. Now think about a baby coming back as a soul and like realizing that now I might have the answers to the universe. I know that I have to do this again, but I can't say nothing. And I might see my kids out here again in a different fucking body. But they'll never know. They'll never know. And that could be your worst enemy too. It could have that Braden said that. Mm-hmm. You could have, dude, and Braden said that. And what's crazy about that is like my sister died of a heroin overdose. And so like she has to come back and do this experience again.
like it is, bro.
So like,
Every time we say something, dude, it fucking strikes some. I don't know.
why just like, I,
Fucking sweating, boy. It's
That's why I have a podcast, and that's why I wanted to call it This World with Jordan, because like I needed to stand on business for once in my life, bro. Bree actually kind of empowered this for me because she read so there's this article in the Athens Daily Review of when the guy that molested me went to jail. The day he was arrested, it says band teacher arrested. There's a whole article on the front page, man. And one thing,
You went to Trinidad?
yeah, I went to Trinidad.
Crazy.
One thing that I've learned, yeah, he's still alive. He gets to be a registered sex offender till. So the guy that offended me gets to be a registered sex offender till next month, and then he gets off. He's a normal person again. Yeah, it's crazy, but that's unconditional love, dude. Like I've had this experience, like, oh, dude, like it's so empowering to understand it now for what it is, though. We were talking about standing on business. So like the reason that I feel like that I need to do this now is because there was a quote that they quoted me in that paper, dude, and it said, "I'll go back to hell before I go back with that man." It says, "I'll go to hell before I go back with that man." So I literally think about it, because when I turned 12 and came out about this, that's when my addiction started, dude. I started running from myself. I had identity issues. I couldn't figure out like why this had happened to me. Like, am I gay? Like all these, like crazy things. I was running from myself. So like I just started addiction. Dude, I said, I'll go back to hell before I go back with that man. I manifested my reality. And I put it out there for the entire fucking world. So I mean, I chose that. I chose to go through hell than to go back there.
Yeah, not come back.
So yes, this is hell. This place is hell. Like we've created a hell, and our job is to understand that. And the secret is love.
Yeah.
The only way to get out of this is through unconditional love.
Yes, that's what I learned.
I'd go up and give that man dude. I'd give that man a fucking hug right now, bro. Because you know why? I sat on a couch with him. It's not, I don't know. But I know that this is his hell now because of who I am. And that's unfortunate for him. Because who wants to hear somebody that's offended them talk about, hey, remember when, I peed in your mouth when I was a kid, and it becomes real uncomfortable then, huh? Yeah. Especially when like all I want to do is show unconditional love, and like I want to thank this man because like subconsciously, dude, I was fearing things like dogs jumping through my window in the middle of the night. Seriously. I was afraid dogs were going to jump through my window. I was sleeping with a life jacket on because I was afraid I was going to get shot. But my fear was literally sitting, like my actual fear was sitting on the couch with me, showing me John Wayne Gacy movies. And John Wayne Gacy is a serial child murderer that molested them before he killed them. So then I realized that like this dude was fantasizing my death. He was probably fantasizing murdering me. Yes, raping, murdering me, killing me, and then yes. And so then when I realized that, dude, I was like, you bad motherfucker.
That's crazy, bro.
You lived, bro. You lived. And then like then you lived and like you didn't let go of it, and then you killed yourself more after the fact. And so now I get to stand on the business because like I did go through hell, bro, and this is hell, and like God did show me some shit, and like God like literally came in, and like the truth is real, bro. Like it's undeniable, and like I want to go into church and preach from a Bible sometimes, just because like you're offended, but you're offended and you have sins.
The Bible is like a good message.
It is a great message, and I wouldn't blasphemy it. I'm saying like I want to preach from it because of the truth, bro. Like I want to come from like I want to preach from dude. I think we should preach from the Quran. I think we should preach from the Torah. I think we should preach from the Tao Te Ching, man, Taoism. Like we need to learn all of the knowledge of what religion was instilled here for. Because look, dude, religion at first was created for, well, listen, man, you wouldn't believe my version of Christianity if you lived in Australia and I lived in America and we didn't have no way to communicate millions of years ago. We'd have two different things. So like if we're trying to start a society, I'm going to put something here for these people to believe in. I'm going to put something here. I'm going to put something here, but it all comes back to this one foundation, and that's love. That's unconditional love, dude. And that's why it was all fucking connected. And that's like why Jesus like carried the same traits as Buddha and carried the same traits as Allah. And like all these people were like intertwined. And it was because of the fact that they needed something to have in order for people to get the fuck out of here. But now what's happened? Because the enemy, the devil is here, bro. It's confusion. It's confusion. Yes. It's all fucked. Imagine how fucked it is thousands of years from now. Like, God's literally saying, y'all motherfuckers are wrong.
It's crazy.
And you know what? Like, what's even crazier about it is, like, the moment that someone justifies, like, Israel. Let me say something about this real quick, too. Because, like, Israel is God's chosen people. But the people that are in Israel right now, raping women and children, are not God's chosen people. No. So the war that is happening is unjustified. It's unjustified. There should be no wars in the first place. Everybody should have access to that land if it's God's land. Like if we're all created from God, then why should, and that's what we're doing. Like we realize that it is God's land. So you know what's happening? There's a temple there. There's also a mosque, and that big golden dome is a mosque. That's what that is. That's for people that Islam. That's for Islam, dude. So you have Islam, Judaism, and Christianity all fighting over this one little piece of land that they know that God's called them. So now they're murdering. Did I show you that video of did you see that flying in Israel? Dude, there was a fucking demon that came out of the fucking sky.
And the people who fought World War, was it one maybe? They said that they had seen literal demons.
Yes. Harbingers of death, bro. They're soul collectors.
Like I was saying, like I feel like I haven't been here before. I feel like I may have been in like the war. I don't know. I feel like
You look like
there's like everyone like there's a bunch of people who like who were like in the war route. You know, like many times, and it just never got passed down. So I feel like maybe that was just like I already did that in a past life, so I didn't have to, but like it just wasn't passed down. So I feel like maybe I don't know. I feel like I was in war because I used to love war. Like I wanted to be like in the military and shit, but that just wasn't my calling. I'll do it right now.
So in theory, there's a way through hypnosis to be able to, and that's what I'm reading right now through Journey of Souls from this author named Dr. Newton. No, Phil. He's still a practicing hypnotherapist. So what had happened was he was doing hypnotherapy for people to deal with childhood trauma. And so like when you're hypnotized, like you're dealing with all these like subconscious things that you like have buried away because of trauma. Well, what he started realizing is his patients were going before they were born.
Yeah.
And like, they're like, okay, so I'm in my mom's womb. And he's like, what? and then he realized like that like, is it okay? Oh, started to realize that like that people was so like they were coming back and like saying like I was this, like there was 200 years in between my first life and my second life, and like just very
That's why we feel like,
giving soul names,
yeah.
soul different soul names, bro. Coming up and like that's my enemy in that reality, but like this is my soul guide here. What the fuck? That's why you got to pay attention to people, bro. I love going to the graveyard. I'll go to the graveyard right now. Huh? I've I've done lines of Xanax off gravestones, and like I'm like, while I'm not proud of that, like I've done lines of Xanax off gravestones. I'm not saying it again. I've done lines of Xanax off gravestones. Like we were just down like chilling at the cemetery, and like, but like that's I just feel comfortable in like, but I don't know. Maybe I have been here before, like, and like I don't think that this is my first life. And the further I go, but like the more that I delve into that, like, and like start to think about what my previous lives can be, the more that I don't even want to talk about it.
It's all matters trying to.
What does matter? It does matter because yes, we came back here for a reason.
So you embrace what's going on now, and you.
What's scary is realizing that you could have been a part of history. Like you're reading something and like that could have been me. That's the type of shit that I'm dealing with. So like I can't get around this microphone, it's gonna fall. What I got to a point is like started realizing with like how violent my trauma was, and like how Scott he just got an indecent exposure charge. That's all he got. It was 6 years of every month for 6 years, very violent molestation. And like for the longest time I was like, why me? Like why did I let this like why me? But like now I'm like, I chose this, bro. I chose this. Like I had to come here, and like I wouldn't choose it for anybody. I wouldn't choose this for anybody. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. No. But I need people to understand that I chose this because we can experience the worst things that humanity has to offer, and we can still find unconditional love. Because not only like here was another connection that I had drawn, man. I was shown the worst of what a human can do to another human besides murdering them. And I almost was. Yeah. So then I realized that when I went to the army, I was seeing what humanity could do as a civilization. And like I was getting these first hand glimpses at the most evil, demonic things that were happening in society, dude. Rape, war, lust. Like I was I was the victim. I was the victim of all these things, dude. I was a very much a victim of all these things. And I'm like, why me? But we have to fucking understand the worst of what society is in order to instill some type of change. Even Martin Luther King couldn't even instill real change if something real profound had not happened in his life. You might be Martin Luther King.
I've been doing some research on the numerology shit, and he was he served public servant, stuck out. I don't know. I like also Martin Luther King because he's a big part of this. Like I feel like he's a big part of the movement that we have. Like even part of our speech, he didn't even have his speech.
So I'm not saying people tell us things, man, and like we have to understand like when God's speaking through them, and when it's just them speaking. But when God's speaking through somebody, it's repetitive. It's repetitive. So like one of the things that I kept hearing was humility. I needed to have humility. And like, why the fuck are you telling me that I need to have humility? Like I've got my fucking tooth punched out my front of my face. Like what the fuck? Like I'm just trying to like have some confidence here. Like humility, bro. We have to walk lightly in our truth because like the truth is not to instill fear. The truth is,
and that's what I feel like.
To bring peace.
Don't want to, because it is very scary. Like, knowing the truth, it didn't keep me up at night. Knowing the truth sometimes does keep me up at night. When like trying to find like, just like.
Well, I kept hearing humility, man, and like when I started to realize that our souls are more than this, and like that, I started to realize, dude, that I'm probably I'm not. I wouldn't say that I'm God, but like I'm probably like like a god or an angel, like in another, like in the soul realm. Because listen, dude, I'm a fucking warrior, bro. Like,
Well, I love the black baby. Black baby could take him down.
no, what are you talking? Which one?
Like, you know how they come out in the gladiator?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Bro, you couldn't like.
No, dude. But listen, man. Like, so I started meditating to this song called "Invincible" by Tool, and he's like warrior, struggling, trying to remain relevant. And like very early on, I was like, dude, a warrior, like in this life, a warrior would be molested. Like a warrior would be
Like, yeah, like
brought to their fucking
worst point.
Then I looked at my DNA, and then it shows that I have Scandinavian in my DNA, which is Viking. And then I'm from North Africa, which is where the Egyptians come from. Then I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, but we know at our core, again, dude, like I have no reason to lie about anything, but we start to have to decide where we come from and who we are. And like where our truth is. And so like maybe in a past life I was a warrior. Maybe I was a Viking. But in the past life, my mission was to be unconditional love. Like, I know that without a shadow of a doubt. Like, every time that I've come back to have this experience, it's always come back to me talking about unconditional love in different bodies. I'm probably a soul god. I think I'm a soul god. And I texted this to Bree one morning because I was doing some reading. And like, there's a difference between soulmates and soul gods. Like there's so many things. And think about this, dude. Here, we're only 33, bro. I could have met her soul thousands of years ago. And if we're soulmates, that means that we were soulmates before this. And so like, that means before we chose this, like we were soulmates.
So what if
and your soul God, like you all, like it all comes back in. But since it's so balanced, dude, since it's so balanced and everything is off of good and evil, dude, like, and since our intentions and like where we come from, if you live in evil, dude, if you live in evil, but listen, man, if you live in low vibration, you come in contact with these people, but these people leave your life.
Yes. Because like,
hush.
What y'all seeing?
She heard me whispering. She got me. No, that's the thing, man. That's the absolute thing. So if I live what people would call a life of sin, if I'm unpure, if I'm watching porn, if I'm in other people's DMs, if I'm lusting after women, if I'm doing all these things, like my soulmate ain't gonna be here, bro. How? It's simple. It's simple fucking math. And so, like, people don't understand. In this life, they go away. They go away in this one. And that's why. And that's why. Listen, Jaden. So, are you ready for the connection? That's why when I met God and I was in my little orb and it was perfectly geometric, He showed me.
Was it? It was like just a circle.
It was like it was an orb, and it was like a
So there was like no fine points on it or nothing. No, that is pretty crazy. So it's just like
white geometric sphere.
was it like is it like that? I feel like I know what you're talking about.
Uh, Geometric sphere encompassing a conscience.
Y'all know over here. Whoa, yeah. See, that is, bro. I've been seeing that a lot. I've seen that on shirt.
That's what I was on in. That's what I was inside.
I haven't seen that like
But
internally, but I've seen that like externally. Like I've seen that on designs. I've been seeing that in designs a lot.
I was going. So the soulmate thing, right? God showed me in this life, dude. If I kept making the decisions that I was making, I was gonna be forever separated from everything here. So I had a decision to make then, and I did. A choice was made, and I started to live in love, dude. And like this is the reflection of that. And like I need people to see like where I can like for sure
You're walking.
draw. Yes, like
We'll see.
yes, like I need people to draw the coordinates here, and like see what I've fucking fested in my life, dude. Because like I truly do believe that we are. I think we're all soulmates. Like I think that maybe we can be soulmates, but we can all like in the spirit realm, like our souls, like since there are soul God, there's like groups, there's families. Yes, there we connect, dude, and we go and like we'll be like, oh, we're going on for 1,000 years. Like that's what souls do.
I'll see you again.
Yes, but like what had happened is like if we make the decisions that are fucked up, like my sister, overdose,
Bro.
disconnected. She knows that. She knows that. So she knows that in this that she has to live a completely different reality with no recollection. But she only has the recollection if her soul connects in this reality.
What is the truth that we have to think now? Like
You have to live in unconditional love. Yeah, because unconditional love is a freedom too.
lessons.
It's a freedom. Yeah, it leaves you open to everything. And if you're spiritually strong enough and spiritually able enough, like the evil, no evil can fuck with you. Yeah, there's people that are just like this, dude. There's man, like it's fucking wild.
So about shit. It's like you've given me so many answers for like that's simple shit, but also like
But I need you to talk to other people that like
I try, bro, but like they think I'm crazy.
no, like I just need you to link up with like one of my homegirls. I did a podcast with her. Her name's Heather. She's fucking dope, dude. She's like very, very spiritually connected. And like, dude, she went to school in Trinidad, bro. Like graduated 2 years, did not talk to her at all in high school. Didn't talk to her at all. She's like on this like path. And like, it's like she knows who I. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've had 3 hour long conversations. Like, hey, I've like basically like known you, and she's connected, bro. Like, she even is so connected, and she had her baby in her house. She had her baby in like a little pool in her house, like completely natural. Like just, and her child is like 6 months. At 6 months, no, it's a little girl. She was like speaking words, like saying star, moon, like clearly. And like, so like she got like a real head start on like this with her child. Like Braden's coming in later, but like it's just unconditional love, dude. And it's strong. Like where I find my frustration is knowing like Braden is smart. Like he knows how to like, yeah, he knows how to make me angry and things. Like he knows how to frustrate me. He knows how to pull me. But like little does he know, like there's energies in that too. Yeah, he's playing with energy himself.
It's over too impulsive.
Got a ladder.
And I don't fly. I'm fight or flight and I don't fly, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever I feel like energy that's impulsively thrown on me, I'm fight or fly and I do not fly.
You fight.
Yeah, like I can either like sit here and like you're saying like you should love, like just learn to love those things, and like I don't even try to love it. I just try to like
Push it away.
I either argue back at it or just like run from it, you know?
What is something that you're most like fucked up at right now?
I don't know, definitely like getting triggered, but like I'm learning like it's definitely I could see myself getting better at it now that I'm trying to like work on it. But I used to like just whenever shit would like test me, I would spaz out like just throw it, get mad like prank things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But now I can like kind of like not.
Well, I'm just no. I'm just saying like, what are you like? Are you like angry at something? Like, are you angry at something deeper than that? Like, or is there something that like you're not letting go of?
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like addiction, everything. Yeah, like like what you mean?
What I mean, I'm talking about like,
You're not for me.
what I'm talking about like,
What? So the same way, like you were saying, like how Brayden does these things,
Mhm.
like just it irks your soul, like not really like irks your soul, but like just makes you mad, kind of. So like people will like, or like they may not know they're doing that to me, but it's like fucking with me mentally. It's like I'm like
what?
I don't know, just anything, whatever they say, whatever they do, like Ashton.
What could Ashton say that's gonna irk you?
He'll know he's fucking with me, and he knows how to fuck with me, so he'll do it, and he knows he can get a reaction.
But that's just reacting, bro. That's just having.
Trying to get my reaction to like not fighting about it.
Uh-huh.
Be like my reactive responses.
Okay, so like, why are you quick to anger? Why are you so quick to anger? Why is something so petty getting you so fucking fucked up so fast?
So I was saying, like,
Why are you so irritable? Then you got to figure out. So listen, I'm doing something here.
thinking the first
Why you go? Why am I so quick to anger? And then you go, well, then listen.
look at the second option.
Then you go, well, if I'm quick to anger, then I might be irritable. And then you go, well, if I'm feeling irritable, there's something that's causing me to feel irritable. And then you can really like coordinate, like draw a line faster.
That's what I was trying to tell Ashton. I was like, if we get alone and like we connect,
Is it
like we can change our future.
Yeah, because you want to know something that's fucking wild between y'all two? Y'all two are fucking so vulnerable, like by yourselves, but when y'all get in the same room with one another, y'all want to act so fucking hard. It's fucking hilarious. Like, what the fuck? Like,
I'm trying to like take it slower and like just not like
y'all, yeah,
I gotta realize that like he says I don't.
y'all dudes both bring y'all's own like truth bombs to the equation, but like when y'all
Are in Scorpios,
that doesn't matter. No, it's not that. It's not that. It's insecurity in something, man. Like it's trying to prove the other person wrong about something.
I feel like he's in competition with me, and that's what I.
Do you feel like you're in competition with him?
No, that's what I. That's what I.
What do you think he could be in competition with you about?
He wants to be
In what?
I don't know, everything.
I never got that vibe.
Oh yeah,
I really haven't.
like he shows up for sure. And he knows what he
I've actually thought that
He knows what.
I thought that you're your own person. I thought he's his own person. That's from a very like unbiased point of view, though. I don't see that. Do you see? Does he try to? Do you see that? Like Ashton doing that? Like trying to be better?
I mean, I feel like I'm already so.
I can understand it. Yeah, but that's
What?
but you know, like but you know what? Is there a competition? No. And you know what?
I'm trying.
If he was here by himself and I asked him Thursday, he'd say no.
See, he was saying no.
Yeah.
But when we're together, that's what I'm trying to get him to understand. Like,
Why do we have to try to get like? Why can't we just understand? Because trying to get
sometimes,
no, we can just understand, bro.
I told him today, I was like, you can manifest whatever you want in your reality. He said, no, you can't. You just work for what you get.
That's manifesting.
But he just believes in like screwing in a fucking screwdriver is gonna make him billions of dollars and shit, like, or whatever. Like, that's not really.
But if he manifests
ways
that,
around
bro, but the trick in that is like manifesting that for him, bro.
Yeah. See him trying.
I manifest a lot for you, bro. I manifest a lot for you.
I doubt myself, and it's just like that's what I need to stop doing.
Part of manifest, but a real part of manifesting, like what when we manifest for other people, our manifestations come from what we believe in them. So like it's going to be totally different than if you don't believe in yourself, then my manifestation for you might be stupid. It might be lame as fuck. You never know. Like, but that's the thing. Like, you have to believe in yourself first. But like, you got chains. I mean, you got some money in your pocket, bro. Like, you're safe.
These stones, I feel like these absorb that energy because like black diamonds, they don't reflect light; they absorb like light. So I feel like these absorb some bad energy. Like whenever I don't have this on, I feel like it's.
But here's the thing, like, it absorbs bad energy if you want it to.
It does. So,
because you create your reality, bro. That's the important thing. Like, you see the people that are around us, like, and I don't want to drop names here, but they probably ain't gonna watch, but like Donnie and Cheryl, bro. But like, look at them, bro. They have a great life in their reality. They could have so much more if they'd seen it the way that we did, but they've created their reality,
bro.
And that's it. So in if that's bro, fuck yeah, I think that they soak in bad energy too.
Sure.
Fuck yeah,
Bro, you are my perfect soul god.
probably so. I'm probably a lot of people's soul god, man.
Sure.
Tune in if you want. You don't have to. I just think that like I just need to get it on record, bro. Because here's the thing, man. People want to believe in a story or stories that happened thousands of years ago. And I'm not just talking about the Bible, man. I'm talking about even the Tao Te Ching. I'm talking about Buddha. I'm talking about Buddha parables. I'm talking about miracles that these people did, man. People want to harp on these things and like talk about these things. But we have to open up our eyes to today, dude. We have to open up our eyes to what people are doing when we do channel unconditional love and the miracles that happen in that. Because those are the miracles that those people were working back in those days that were changing those people's lives. And that has to be relevant today. And so like when we get our head out of our own ass and like see that for what that is and like really start to correlate like, hey, like maybe that dude really does have like a Christ conscience within him. And like maybe he like is living like how Jesus lived thousands of years ago. Like maybe we can like stop giving our money to a preacher that we don't really know where our money's going to. And like maybe we can like just go and donate our time and money at a homeless shelter instead. Like if we could start doing just little things like that, bro, like that's the Christ consciousness. And like, I think that that's what's going to change, but we have to make it relevant today and like really point out like how people are living miracles, like how we are walking miracles. Because another thing, like I didn't even get to talk about my brothers, bro, like how they came in my life. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was like on seconds before dying. And like, fuck. And think Bree would have had to live her whole life here, and then I would have restarted, and then had a. You see that's how long it could be. You might not be guaranteed your soulmate in the next one, but I can guarantee you this: like this is fucking real, bro. Like who we are, and what we are as soul guides and soulmates. Like this is real, and like we have to acknowledge that, because if not, we're not gonna get another chance, huh?
What if I feel like I've lost my soul already? What do you do after that?
You have to live in unconditional love.
Yeah, but like, what after that? Like, is there another mate that comes on, or like, or that's just like, maybe that's the end of it. If I do the right choices,
I hear that souls can like move. I don't know, dude.
see, yeah.
You just have to live in unconditional love and not leave it up to fate.
Whatever you think.
Because it's all been about the experience leading up to now. So you never know. And you have to quit worrying about being alone. Because like you might not have the soulmate here. Like you might have everything that you need here, bro. And like until that you accept that, then you won't know what's behind the other door.
See that?
So you can't keep expecting other things.
See,
I love you too, bro.
that's amazing.
Yeah. Dude, but it's all experience, man. Like I'm not like somebody that's like,
see, I needed to meet.
It's all fucking God given, dude. Straight up.
I don't feel like I don't know. Some of the choices like making, like even how. What if I would have changed back then? Like, what if I wouldn't have met you? What if I would have done something back then that like we wouldn't have had to meet? Do you feel like that could have happened too?
I don't know, dude. That's not, it's about now. It's to be, like, we're supposed to be as if, act as if. And so if we do those things, then everything else will fall into play. And like, that's not to be cliche, but like, that's just for the next badass fucking thing to happen, bro. Because like, I'm like, at this point, dude, like, I'm like, what's next?
See, that is.
And like, dude, you want to know something that's crazy? Quentin, his car, his tie rod, for months, he said, I think my tie rod's broke. Well, he's getting his car fixed this week, and the tie rod crumbled in the mechanic's hand. And the guy said, if you would have hit a bump, that tire would have flown off, and y'all would have flipped. But I said, Quentin, I said, every day that I get in this car, I know that I'm safe because I have a hedge of protection around me, bro. I said, because I know that I'm anointed and I speak life into that dude. And so like, yeah. And I'm like, he knows that. And he's like, yeah, he's like, God's with us, bro. My ear stays ringing, man. My dude, if I want to like not hear like my vibrations from the TV is loud, I like lay on my left side because this ear's ringing, bro. This ear constantly rings. And like I didn't understand that, but that happened after I got sober too. And it hasn't stopped, and the doctor said there's no structural damage to my ear. Like there's nothing that they can find wrong with my ear.
Just your higher power.
I don't know, dude. I just keep living. I keep living the best life that I can, bro. And like, really just want to be relatable. Like, that's the important thing is like, people have like given themselves so many rules and indoctrines to live by. And like, you can't watch Harry Potter, bro, or you can't say fuck, bro, or you can't like go enjoy a drink if you're not an alcoholic, or you can't like smoke a joint. Like that's not, dude, no. Like we're here to have an experience. We're here to live our best lives and show love. And if we do that, then we'll make it out because there's divine power in that. And people just got it all fucked up and twisted. This ended up turning out to be a great podcast.
Your aura color is like yellow off the way.
I see. Clint says that it's all the colors because, like, I usually.
I'm looking at you. I'm trying to see the color. And I see yellow. I see a bright light.
Yeah, Clinton's like, you're like the color, all the colors of the rainbow. But I like the rain. Like, I'm like, yeah, dude, I vibe with, like, dude, everything. I love everybody, bro. Like, some people make me uncomfortable, but that's just one of those things, man. Like, it's all a learning experience. Let me tell you something that I'm learning, man. And this is with Dawn. When we went to Topgolf, we had a trans waiter. So it was a dude with a beard, but it was a girl with like, and it made Donnie very uncomfortable. And so I knew that I went right next to Donnie because I knew like he was not, he's like, his anxiety was getting high. So I just went and sat next to Donnie. I was like, oh, I'm going to take some deep breaths. And I, like for like very over exaggerated breaths. I'm like, oh, it's good to have my son, like just trying to distract him a little bit, uh, because I know that Donnie struggles with, I don't know why, but like that's something that like that they deal with, and like that's something that they're battling in their little reality right now is like the transgender thing. But I knew it was a thing when the second time I went with Donnie, the waiter was gay. And I was like, okay. I was like, this was uncomfortable for me because Donnie was very, very, very uncomfortable. And so like I was uncomfortable in the situation because of his uncomfortability. But I knew immediately what it was. I was like, oh yeah, this guy right here, he's learning something and this is going to continue to happen. Well, anything that you're like really struggling with, like as far as like humans go, like anything that like kind of throws you off or terrifies you or weirds you out, you're gonna see it all the time. It's gonna be right in your face, bro. It's gonna be there because it's a learning experience. You have to learn from it. You have to love from it. Yeah, I'll get out of here, man. Sorry, it's fucking awesome.
But learning to love it is the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also once you really like figure out this, it gets easier though. It gets way easier. It's just